Dude, Station, man.
Station.
Welcome to March Madness, or the kickoff, the official kickoff to March Madness, man. Dude, I'm loving those thumbnails, though, man. I love that little font.
Looking good. That's Mike, the voice Matthews, just left to go on tour with the Dead Deads and Darkness. So, Station Mike out there on the road right now. Everybody keeps him safe.
Heck yeah,
and keep him in your thoughts. He's out there with the band, living the life, living the rock star life, but as kind of like a roadie manager-y kind of guy. But
heck yeah, man.
Super excited to be here tonight, Dylan, to kick off officially our second annual March Madness.
Heck yeah, dude.
Pop, pop, boom, man. We had a great March Madness last year, going together, kind of doing a mini horror fest. Here we are back again. And you get to start it. We get to end it. And there's one thing about the beginning and the end that's tied together. And we'll find out what that is later. But dude, very pumped to be here tonight and kicking it off with this movie.
Hell yeah, dude. Same here. This was one that was this one I was actually sent this movie as a gift, as an AOK from the long fucking anime, or the long viewed time subscriber and friend of mine, Two Gun Pedro, like one of my main homies, bro, like always shows so much love, dude. So we couldn't kick this March Madness off with nothing other than The Entity from 1982. It was one that he was like, you gotta check this out. And bro, my man hooked it up on this, man, because not only did he get me the Scream Factory, but he got me the slip. And y'all know I'm the slip king when it comes to this shit. So I love Two Gun Pedro, man. And thank you again for that AOK. That was so awesome. But yeah, man, he told me a couple years when I first started the horror show, or maybe even before, he told me about Tales or Trilogy of Terror with the Zuni fetish doll. And that's one that's always stuck with me since. So he was like, man, I really hope you like this. So I was dying because I'd actually never seen this. I've seen bits and pieces. I know what it's about, but I'd never seen it. So I was super hyped to check this one out. Nice. It's actually the one I was probably most excited to talk about of all March Madness. So it's only right we started it with this one. But that's not all. We got a special guest in the house tonight, man. Always great to have my main man, Steph, in the building, bro. Dude, thank you for joining us, bro. Thanks for kicking March Madness off with us. Did I mute you? Hey, you're muted.
My bad, fellas.
Oh, I thought I accidentally hit you.
Glad to be here, Always glad to be here.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, dude.
Is this your first March Madness stuff?
Yes.
Bro.
Yes.
Dude, that's sick, bro. Hell yeah. I can't believe it's been 2, man. When you said it, I'm like, dang, bro.
Yeah, because we did it last year, Dylan.
Yeah.
But next year, we're switching it up. All basketball movies.
Really?
Start off with like Mike, all right?
Air Bud 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I had some different ones in mind if we went that route, but I'm loving this partnership with Dylan. I love the mini horror fest, you know?
Yeah.
Like people kept like the crew excitable we are. They kept, when are we gonna do another horror movie, Robbie? Come on, man. When are we gonna do another horror movie? I'm like, bruh, just calm down. March Madness is around the corner. Just wait. Like, yeah.
Right.
There's Mike right there.
Is he? I'm like all the way at the top of the thing, so. But yeah, man. So 1982, this movie came out. Dude, I almost want to mention the Batman real quick because just get it off my chest. But I watched. I didn't watch it all. I gotta definitely finish it. But if you guys missed it, Verno hosted his first live stream ever on his channel, and Robbie, my main man Bullseye Bob. I'm so bummed I couldn't make it. I would have loved to see Bob. It's been too long. Love that dude. But Robbie, Bullseye Bob, and Jelani, good old Jab, who I'm so sad that I fucking overslept. Sorry again that we're late. It's all my fault as always. I overslept because
I knew you were asleep, man. I was like, that fucker's asleep.
I knew I should have set an alarm, man, because I kept dozing off, bro. But, you know, I fucked up as always.
Oh, no, I mean, that's fine, man.
But
they'd be worried if we were on time.
At least, yeah, right. They'd be like, what the fuck is going on? They're definitely not here. The entity got them. Yeah, though, man. I was just exhausted after work, man. It's been rough getting used to this new job, but
so you were talking about Batman.
Oh, did I? Yeah. No, I didn't know if I was gonna continue, but yeah, dude, I was saying about your guys' review. I was saying just make sure if you've seen the movie. I know you guys talk spoilers, so definitely go check out that review.
Yeah, first round was spoiler free though, but most people are going to go see this movie.
Yeah, man. It is definitely worth seeing on the big screen. It doesn't feel like 3 hours if that's your problem. It really, I think it's paced really good. I could see it being tightened a little bit, but honestly, I feel like everything that is in there comes full circle. Everything really that is in there needs to be there. I'm gonna say one like spoiler, so just earmuff it real quick. The only one scene I feel like they could have thrown out is like that scene where he's in the jail cell having that convo with that one person. That's like it just we didn't really need that, and like I just
at the very I know what you're talking about. That
with the fucking unseen gentleman.
Next movie.
I think that's like a long play, almost like a Thanos. Yeah. And I just don't.
Matt Reeves says that's not set up for the sequel, but it is. It is who you think it is.
It's like a breadcrumb or something, kind of like what they did with Thanos in the first Avengers. I feel like, but dude, I just don't need to see him anymore. I like. I mean, Batman has the best rogues gallery. I guess you can't do it without the Joker. But it's like we've seen him so many times in the last 10 years.
The problem is when you do these realistic takes, it limits the villains that you can use to make realistic. You get what I'm saying?
Bro.
Yeah.
But it also with the way he looks, I'm not so sure. You know what I mean? Like you can't really see him, so you can't tell. But from what I saw, it just threw me off. But dude, they could still do like a Mr. Freeze or something, man. Like. That's what I want is Mr. Freeze.
I think that might be them attempt that. Yeah, I think Freeze and Scarecrow are prime for this iteration of Batman in particular.
You think? Oh, I thought you were gonna say that you don't think they could pull that off, dude. Freeze.
I don't know how Freeze would work within that universe, but I'm curious. I would love for them to take on that. I think that would be.
That's the only thing about grounding it. It's like you know what I mean, like. I like it, and then I don't like there. If it's gonna like make it where we can't get that, I almost like it kind of ruins it for me. Because it's like, yeah, you could ground it, but it's like it's still based off a comic book. You
Well,
know what I mean?
at this point, the most bold direction to take the franchise, and I've seen a lot of like commercials for this being like, it's a bold take on Batman. I'm like, no, it's not really. Right. I mean, it's not a bold take. Like a bold take right now would be doing a colorful, flamboyant, sci-fi oriented Batman.
Or if they went full rated R, full horror with it, like where they took it that way, but not all the way. You know what I mean? If they went full horror, that would have been bold, and I'd have been like, fucking round of applause, dude. Not that I still wasn't clapping for it.
Let me get your thoughts on on the certain subplots. You don't think certain characters were given too much?
Oh, you mean what we were talking about backstage?
Yeah.
I think the Riddler. I know the big problem that they always say is that Batman's villains end up taking like the spotlight over Batman.
Right.
So I could see that, and it's called the Batman, so like don't give the Riddler too much. They used him very sparingly. I could have used him a little bit more, just a little bit, you know.
I agree.
I know Catwoman. As watching it, there was some times, I don't think they really needed to have Catwoman in certain scenes. You know, it felt like she was forced a little bit. You know what I mean? Especially the whole subplot with her and her Annika friend. Her and her whole like that felt so like who the fuck is she? First off, the Annika girl, that felt just so forced to bring her into the whole mystery. So honestly, in a way, like her whole character is like a subplot that really didn't need to be there. That I really didn't. I guess it's more just to give him that team up vibe. You know what I mean? Where it's like he's not just by himself, you know, which I would have been fine with for the first movie. You know, I don't need to see it. I already get the perfect team up with him and Gordon. That is the perfect.
They were great.
You know what I mean?
I liked Gordon a lot.
And then it's stupid as fuck how she like has to save him from hanging off the thing. You know what I mean? Like he should have just some like freaking whiplash thing to just like whip him up real quick, like anything, man. He should have like a million gadgets to save him from hanging from a building.
Wait, this is a Batman that only's got one. He's only got one Batarang.
It's a cool Batarang.
He's only got one. That's why he won't throw it. He's just like, well, I got it on a rope.
I might not get it back.
Yeah, he's got like the most elaborate technology for contact lenses, but he's only got one Batarang. Like I don't understand.
Good point.
That's one thing, man. Like his tech isn't really explained. I'm sure he makes all his tech, or somehow he's getting it made and then maybe having it like kind of maybe using like some government thing like he kind of did in the Dark Knight. I don't know. I don't. That's one thing. I wonder if he makes everything, like him and Alfred, if they're just like mad dogs in the lab doing it. All this.
Well, if that's your jam, just watch Batman Begins and just be like, oh, it's that. Sure.
You guys think they kind of gave like Selena heroic? I mean, not to say she's ever been a villain, but I felt like where she was coming from was more of like, what was that?
Saying she's definitely in between though.
Right. Yeah. I feel like it's like she was only doing this because of Annika. You know, like it wasn't because she was trying to give the finger to the man. You know, like she usually let her carefree.
Well, she's trying to steal from Falcone for certain reasons, which I like that they took some comic book inspiration and a lot of elements of this. Yeah. And overall, I feel like it was Gotham was the main thing they were trying to build. And so they put a lot in it. And I think like it sounds like this is a criticism of the last few comic book movies, but this would have worked way better. It seems like it was wanting to be developed to be like a series, like a 6 episode kind of thing. Cause it felt episodic.
Absolutely.
While I'm watching it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Maybe that's a problem. Like, do we need a 3-hour Batman movie? At that point, why not just give us a 6-hour series, right? Like that seems to be, I think that would have worked.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I like the movie though, still overall. I do like the movie. I just there are certain things I'm not liking. I do like Selena Kyle in the
Yeah,
movie,
she's
but
great.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Rose
buy
Gallup is
I
good.
didn't buy the chemistry, especially
Felt a little.
on Batman's side.
It was a little forced. Like
I didn't even
that's what I'm
think about
saying.
that though. About she is a straight like good person in that. It feels like
Yeah,
where I'm like
yeah.
waiting for like her to like double like I was waiting because especially where that thing in the trailer where she's like, "Don't worry, honey, I got 9 lives." She like runs away like as if she just pulled a fast one on
Did
him.
something foul. Yeah.
I was waiting for her to just like double cross him like Batman at any second.
Yep.
Especially,
Set
I
her
mean,
aside.
I guess maybe it was to do something different with her where we've seen like her double cross Batman so many times, like when she when Anne Hathaway does it and then he gets his
Yeah.
back broken. Um, I don't know. Maybe it was just to do something different. Maybe in the sequel she's gonna turn bad or something, and join maybe the Rogues Gallery if they do
The
that.
money's gotten to her by then. No, she got
Because I hear she's supposed to get her own show or something too. Supposed to have like a Penguin show, which is gonna be like R-rated, which kind of like they're doing the Peacemaker route, except Suicide Squad was
He
R-rated
might
too.
have
Penguin's
been
a
my favorite
standout,
character.
by the way.
Yeah,
Penguin's a standout.
absolutely. Talented
Dude.
role.
One of my
Worthy.
favorite bits. There are some actual moments. My favorite character in the movie is Gordon. I think this was my favorite Gordon because it actually
Definitely.
people were talking about how it focuses on the detective aspect. I think it focuses on the detective aspect as much as other Batmans do, to a point where things conveniently happen, and Batman's not a very good, super good detective in this story actually. But
Riddler
I
Clark.
think he
but
was.
there's a lot of like Gordon stuff, and like seeing
Gordon definitely
him
helped, yeah.
there with Gordon with the police, and they're like, "Yo, why is this guy here?" And like, I really like that dynamic. But my favorite funny bit, aside from the thumb drive bit, was the where Penguin, when Gordon's like, "Look what he did to my friend," and he's like, "Oh, come on, man, why you got to show me that?" Like he's
Yeah.
like freaked out by it, man.
I like
You gotta
Penguin when
think
He's
though.
great.
If
they
it's
bust down the
grounded,
doors. My bad.
if
They
it's
bust down the doors and he's just like, he's got a gun and he's the Batman's like, no guns. And he's like,
yeah,
he said something like, you don't carry guns, not me. And he just
Yeah.
walks up with a gun.
he was funny, man. Especially when there's that scene when the cops are all trying to rip his mask off and he's like pounding on his chest. He's like, "We gotta get you."
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's so good, man.
Could have
And
pulled
he's
your
like
punch.
making all these like dirty faces at him, but then he's like whispering, like, "We gotta figure this out."
You could have pulled your
That
punch.
was-
I
oh
did.
yeah,
I did. But here, listen to this, man. You said like the detective. It wasn't like, dude. There's way more detective stuff in this, and he is a phenomenal detective. The thing is, it's grounded. It's year 2. He's not a perfect Batman yet either.
Right.
So he's gonna make mistakes, just like when he's flying, when he jumps off the roof, he fucking fucks his shit up. He is not perfect yet. And the whole
No,
part,
yeah, I get it.
the whole part towards the end, where the Riddler's like, "Oh, you were really not as smart as I thought you were." The only reason he pulls back and didn't figure it out is because he got tweaked that he thought the Riddler found out who he was. So he's like, "I think the Batman's over," and he like totally pulls himself back from everything. Because that's all he thinks, like, it's over.
I'm not trying to spoil it, but you're kind of getting into some bits, but like he didn't figure out the cipher, right? He didn't figure out so much of this. Like a lot kind of falls in his lap. This dude would have died. There's a lot of convenient things I think that happen in this movie. It doesn't matter, right? I still like the movie. I'm nitpicking at this point, right? Because it's a day later, right? But like I feel like he solved some riddles pretty quickly, but you know, he doesn't save the day. I mean, he does, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think he cares to save the day until
that's
the very end, man. He's not like, he's just about fucking dudes up at this point. Like he is a wrecked man. This is like, it's almost like the Joker where it's like, this is like, like
he's unbalanced.
He's like unbalanced. He has like, he honestly, man, think about it. Like for this guy to go out in the middle of the night, every night for the last 2 years, dressed up as a bat, kicking the shit out of people, taking bullets point blank, like he does not give a fuck. As he says, I ain't afraid to die. Like he truly isn't. He'll walk right in front of a bullet. He does not care.
Did you guys peep the Star Wars music in the hallway scene?
But the music was phenomenal.
Yo, yeah, right.
Well, the theme is kind of Star Warsy because it sounds like the Imperial March.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Like 100%. And they use Ave Maria over and over. And I think it was supposed to be some clue to Batman, but I didn't understand its relevance as far as the scheme. Like I didn't get that. So it was weird. The music was kind of disappointing to me just because it kind of felt. How long are we talking about this movie?
We're about to wrap it up.
Okay. I mean, because I share a lot of my thoughts on the stream with Verno.
Yeah, so that's why I said to check out the stream.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm not trying to ramble on too much because.
No, you're cool.
But a day later, I'm finding more cracks in the things I liked. Right, I'm finding more cracks. So I was anticipating liking it more when I rewatched it. Now I don't know. So we'll see.
Well, you got to watch it again, though. You're just probably sitting on it. You're over analyzing it, maybe.
But it's all subconscious overanalyzing. It's not like this is like I'm just sitting up for like 20 hours like, what is it about this movie? I do like it.
It still was really good, man. It still was. I honestly, man, I'll say, dude, like, it's still really hard to debate if I like it more than The Dark Knight. Because the Riddler is incredible, but Heath Ledger still just is tough. The best, man. Pattinson is the best Batman over anybody. Bruce, the only thing I could say is I don't know if he's the best Bruce Wayne yet, but Bruce Wayne isn't even like a character. Batman is like the only character at this point. He only uses Bruce Wayne to get what he needs for the case.
He hasn't learned the value of Bruce Wayne yet.
Yeah, exactly. But he is the best Batman in my opinion. Like
I never really liked Bill like that. I know a lot of people love Bill. He was like one of my least favorite, to be honest.
He's really not that great, you know.
He's my favorite on-screen Batman. Y'all are cracking me out right now.
Wayne, but
I love his Bruce Wayne. I love his Batman.
Yeah, his Bruce Wayne is great, but I think Affleck.
This is the first time I felt like he was Batman before he put on the damn cape and cowl. Like Christian Bale was like fucking trained by ninjas, and he was man. Y'all get me heated. I'm trying to talk about a movie I like, but like
I love those movies too, man. I love those movies too.
Christian Bale's fucking the best Batman. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. First of all, Dylan, you're just all like on the hype train right now on Robert Pattinson. Okay, we'll talk in a year. See what you think. Man. I don't know.
I like Keaton and Affleck.
I like Keaton and Affleck too. I do. I like Val Kilmer.
Yeah. Dude, Affleck was a way better Bruce
Christian Bale, though. That's Batman. I
agree.
Those three movies to me, like all the other Batman movies, are like child's play compared to that.
All right,
well, you know what? In the Nolan films, the villains did run the show in all three of those movies.
And Christian Bale is essentially just playing his character from American Psycho as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I'm not saying he was bad.
No, y'all fine.
He was still good.
Fine. More power to you. Good. Fair enough, but okay. I just want to state that I disagree. I just want everybody in the chat to know that I disagree. Everybody watching, I just want you to know I disagree with this whole line of thinking, but we'll move on.
Hey, you know what? Christian Bale talks a little too much for my taste. And this Batman, he didn't like maybe if he talked as much as Robert Pattinson, he wouldn't have lost his voice every time he made a Batman movie.
Well, that's one thing I like. Pattinson has the least amount of dialogue for a Batman, and I like that because that is Batman.
So, exactly. That's it's a more comic book accurate. And to say that I love Christian Bale is way better than like George Clooney or Val Kilmer. You know what I mean?
Are you trying to make me feel better by saying that? Like, that's obvious as far as Batman roles go.
Well, probably Michael Keaton, too, honestly. Michael Keaton just had, like, the crazy fucking, like
his transformation from Bruce Wayne to Batman was very, the contrast was super cool.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I love the Christian.
I love that Michael Keaton sleeps hanging upside down because
that shit is goofy. After he just banged this chick too, I love the Christopher Nolan movies. Like, it probably came out wrong. I just never thought his Batman was like that insanely incredible. There's some of the best stuff ever.
I get it. We're at the start of March Madness, so y'all are already going ham. I understand. I didn't think it was going to start this crazy so soon, but when Dylan kicks off March Madness, they mean it.
Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, man, I love the Christopher Nolan movies, and I love this new movie, man. It's awesome. It would definitely be like Robert Pattinson and then Christian Bale for my top 2 favorite Batmans. I mean, top 3. If I threw a third one in there, then it would probably be Keaton, But but Keaton's a good Batman. He's a terrible Bruce Wayne. And I think Christian Bale was a great Bruce Wayne, but he wasn't the greatest Batman at times. And his version's supposed to be grounded too. And there's a lot of things that are a little overboard, But I was watching him, and I think his suit and shit is dope. But the fight choreography is terrible. For Christopher Nolan being such this incredible filmmaker, he has the worst fight choreography, especially in Batman Begins. They're just these quick snaps of just and it's just so quick. Like you almost could get dizzy watching it. He gets a little better in like The Dark Knight, and then he progresses, but like he just never really knocked it out of the park with like the fighting style for Batman.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you get like it's nothing compared to like the warehouse scene with Affleck. You know what I mean? Like that's probably still the best Batman fight scene ever.
Absolutely.
But that's in this one we get some really great fighting. I wish we got a little bit more.
The Batman game, he like did a long elbow jump and hit somebody. I was like, Batman game.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. There was some cool stuff though in this new one. It is definitely worth checking out.
He said Keaton's Bruce Wayne, I think I think he said like I think it worked for him because he was so goofy as Bruce Wayne and unassuming that people were like, there's no way he would be Batman. He's too much he's aloof. Like
all right, but yeah, let's we can get it if we can probably touch back on the Batman a little later, but let's talk about the Entity, man. 1982's The Entity. But yeah, definitely go check out the Batman if you guys have not seen it already. Definitely worth the watch. I gotta tell you something real quick about this. So I gotta get this, so get this. This will blow your mind. So I go to Cinemark and I try to take my 2 sisters, my 3 brothers. All of them are over the age of 14. Most of them are actually 17 to 20. And one of them is 14. And of course they're like, most of them don't have IDs. You know what I'm saying? Did you have an ID at 14, 15, 16, 17? I didn't get an ID till I was 18.
Yeah, same.
I walk in. I've already spent like $100 on tickets because it was like 6 or 7 of us. They literally, because it was after 6, this girl's like, I need to see everyone's IDs. This girl was like young as fuck, must have been her first goddamn day. And she's like, you have to be 17 to view this movie. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a PG-13 movie. It's after 6. I'm like, that doesn't change the rating. You have to be like PG-13. You have to be 13 to watch this fucking movie. She's like, you want to speak to a manager? I'm like, yeah, because this is like insane. Because I've seen it before where they do this. Like when I took them to Halloween Kills, I knew that for rated R, I get that at 17. And they didn't let us in. But then it's funny, this place is the one that didn't ID us and let the same group of people in to see Halloween Kills at 10 o'clock at night. So it's like, y'all ID me for a PG-13 movie, and then 2 months ago, you guys didn't ID me for a fucking rated R movie.
Right.
So the manager comes over, bro. And at this point, I was like literally standing there, and I look at one of the customers, and I see like she's not IDing anybody. So I'm like, why aren't you IDing them? I'm like, they're seeing the same movie. I'm like, they look younger than me. And I was like, make sure y'all have your ID, man. I guess they ID for PG-13 movies. And the guys like look at me and they're like, that's fucked up. And I'm like, tell me about it. This girl tries to like walk away as soon as her boss walks up, and he's like grabs her arm and he's like, no, stay. And literally like she whispers in his ear and he just starts fucking screaming at me, bro. Like screaming. I'm like, he's like, get out. I'm like, so you're not even going to listen to what I have to say? He's like, no, get the fuck out. And I'm like, I was about to whoop his fucking ass, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. I like shut my mouth and I just like sized him up, bro. And my sister just was like, Dylan, let's go, let's go. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. Like, if you like this dude, like you think you're so tough because you got some punk ass security behind you. This movie was PG-13. And literally, like, we looked up, you know, like my brother was like, two of my brothers were like heartbroken about it. We've been waiting 3 years to see this movie, you know? I like wanted to fucking kill these people, man. Like PG-13. And they were trying to tell me you got to be 17 because it's after 6. I think like they fucked up so bad because I called the other Cinemark and they're like, no, for rated R. I'm like, you're not understanding. They just told me for a PG-13 movie. They're like, no, that's for rated R. After 6, 17. I'm like,
they just don't like you, Dylan. They got a picture of you in the fucking
they
office.
must, man, because dude, they do that to me. And my girlfriend's like, you gotta just stop bringing them. I'm like, that no. I'm like, so you're telling me I have to bring IDs for a Marvel movie? Those are meant for kids. Those are PG-13. I'm like that, dude. And most of the time, it's like 12. PG-13, like you could be 12 and go see it still. You know, like it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, and this chick, like, literally just like, she must have been banging this dude, bro, like, straight up. And I'm like, what the fuck is your name, bro? I'm like, you want to scream at me in front of my family? And he's just like ignoring me. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna stand here all fucking night, bro. You're gonna tell me your name. And he's like, Mr. Holmes. And I'm like, no, bro, I want your whole fucking name, bro. It is Mr. Holmes, bro. I ain't the type to like ever fucking I know I should have kicked his fucking ass, bro. He's so lucky, bro. Like he most of the time I know dudes like that. He has like 2-3 off-duty security guards with him, and they were there. And the security guards even to like literally straight up, he wouldn't say it, but he knew that I was in the right because I'm like, dude, it's a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're just gonna have to complain. I'm like, complain? They're not gonna do anything. And straight up, bro, I never complained, but you're gonna yell at me in front of my siblings, like after the money we spent. After it's like, this is why streaming will be taken over. You should be fucking like inviting us in, like, please come in. Please, like, I'm the reason you have a fucking job at this point with all the money I spend on tickets. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in a couple of years, I'll be like, fuck you, Mr. Holmes. That's it, like when you're out of a fucking job, you fucking loser, man. Like straight up, like, PG-13 movie, bro. Like, and then this chick, like the chick's like, why don't you act your age? I'm like, I am acting my age because I should be getting, and my age allows me to be in this movie and not be ID'd for it. I'm 20 fucking 8 years old and you're IDing me for a PG-13 movie. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Like, and my siblings, like, they're like, why would we bring an ID for a PG-13 movie? Like, it's so stupid, man.
No, they just don't like you, bro. Trust me.
I'm sure they don't, man.
That's what it is.
I guess they don't like. I guess they don't like when I spend like $100 on tickets, then come and spend $100 more on food and shit. You know.
Nah, corporate will though. Corporate will. No lie. Like complain to corporate, you'll get something.
Oh, bro, dude, I don't know who I complained to, but they basically like I kept talking and they're like, I need your order confirmation or I can't do it. I'm like, oh, so you're annoyed now? You're annoyed at hearing me? I'm like, bro, I was like, I'm not saying you did this. I was like, but you're gonna hear what I got to get off my chest, like straight the fuck up.
Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Like I had a Hardee's experience a couple months ago, man. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, man. Find another theater, Dylan's what I would recommend.
Dude, there's only like two other ones, I guess, but one.
Well, then you have options.
Cinemark, and the other one, I had problems at that one for Halloween Kills.
Well, go to the AMC, get your goddamn AMC stubs list, get on the A list or whatever. You get to go see 3 movies a week, blah blah blah. It's fun.
Yeah. Dude,
get rewards points.
I'm gonna complain again. My mom's gonna complain too.
I got a free large cherry cola when I saw the Batman because of my A-list membership. Just so
nice. Yeah, man.
I had a better experience than you did.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, dude. That it was just like, bro. I was more mad for my brothers and shit, bro, because my little brother was like literally heartbroken, and it pissed me off, bro. He's so fucking lucky, bro. And the cop told me that he's like, well, no, we only, because I was like, what? I was like, y'all trying to come like scare me or something? Like, I don't care, bro. Like, And he's like, no, we're not here to scare you or anything. We were like, we just, one guy like punched somebody when they wouldn't let him in. I'm like, so this happens often, like where these guys want to deny people for PG-13 movies, I guess. Like, it's like, you guys should be happy that people are coming to see your movies instead of just staying at home and watching Netflix. I am a mark for fucking paying to go see a movie at Cinemark. It does suck, man. That's why I told him, I was like, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. It's a waste of my time sitting on the phone. And I bet you, like, I bet you I'll never get an email from that manager to talk about that fucking asshole. Because I bet you, man, there's no way that he wasn't. And he told me she was like 17. I'm like, so you're sleeping with a 17-year-old girl? I know that's what it was, bro. Nobody would act that way.
Quick update, Steph.
Nothing.
Dylan's still mad at Cinema.
I am, bro. Let's get into that entity.
Yes, let's do it. Because angered spirits lead to poltergeist activity.
Yeah, man. God, let me calm down because I don't want to have anything.
Dylan just got heated as fuck. Bro, you need to clip that little segment out and post it on its own. Be like, fuck Cinemark. Use your power, man.
Yeah, man, straight up. I have Cinemark like, we are so sorry to hear about your
man.
your bad experience. We would like to offer you a free Slurpee next time you come.
Jim Mint had PayPal trying to suck his nuts off because he like made a video about them fucking him over some money. Remember that shit?
Yeah,
so, yeah, man. Do it.
Hell yeah. But yeah, man, 1982 is the entity. So sorry for that little rant. Stars Barbara.
That's authentic,
Hershey.
bro. That's the real you.
Hell yeah. I know y'all love it anyways. Y'all love to see me get hype. And go on a rant. It brings back old memories of Dylan's comic book rants, you know. Yeah, so this is a horror movie from 1982 starring actor Barbara Hershey, based on a shocking true story. So that's one of the crazy things about this is Oscar nominee Barbara Hershey got this role saying she didn't even look at it as like a horror movie. Damn, bro, what I got on my slipcover?
Yeah,
he's about to rant again. He's about to get
pissed
off.
Hell no. Something sticky got on my slip, bro. I ain't playing. Damn, what the fuck? What did I put it by, bro? This is weird. Yeah, but this movie, bro, like is wild, bro. Insane practical effects. We'll get into all that because I'm gonna just jump. I'm jumping ahead. Steph, man, what was your first thoughts on this movie? This was your first time watching, I'm guessing. It was my first time watching as well, which is a very rare occurrence on the horror show. I've usually seen these movies like hundreds of times. I've seen bits and pieces. I knew what it was about. I'd never seen the whole movie as a whole. It's a good 2-hour movie though.
Yeah, I was surprised by the length, to be honest. I was a little worried because horror movies don't tend to run that long, but it wasn't a bad experience. Yeah, it's a layered movie for a horror movie. I wasn't expecting that. There's like a lot of elements, like psychological elements at play throughout the film. The opening kind of caught me off guard just because it's like I didn't appreciate the opening just because it just kind of picks up in this Carla's day and she's coming home from work doing what she has to do. But then it got to the first assault scene, and I could it's not a laughing matter, but the sound effects they're using kind of made me laugh at first because it was sounding like whoosh, whoosh. And I was like, what kind of movie am I getting into, man? Like, but once I got past that, I was like, okay, it was just like that's what they had to work with, I get it. I wonder if it's supposed to make you think that somebody is in the room with her at first. Like, you really don't know. Like, it goes right into it, and you're like, like, I feel like it's meant to like catch you off guard.
It is. That's why the music comes in and it's just pounding.
I know we're gonna talk about it. The music is so fucking good, bro. Yeah. I love the music. I loved it so much. I can't wait to talk about it. I'm sorry, Steph. Go ahead.
No, you're a good man. But this one. I'm not usually one for ghost films either, to be honest. But this one, I was surprised by. Like, I saw the length of like, oh shit. And I knew it was about ghosts. I was like, oh shit. But I was surprisingly shocked by how much I was into this one. Like, I wanted to see this Carla's journey from the end? Like, how did she overcome this shit? She had a lot of shit going on.
Dude, I'm gonna probably watch it again after the stream, bro. I really have been loving like diving into it, man.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun. Did you have anything else you wanted to throw in there?
no, I just said it was a surprise, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Hell
it.
yeah,
Like
dude.
I said, a lot of like.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I know too, Glenn would love to hear that. Robbie, my man, what did you think about this? Was this your first time watching it as a whole? You'd seen this once before, I thought you told me.
I've seen this before. I didn't remember this one from like a young kid, but I remember this one from like at some point in like middle school, high school or something, right? And I remember watching it then, and then I knew of it, but I may have watched it on TV or something because I remember it. I have this idea in my head that this was a rather extreme movie, right? So rewatching it, it is a rather extreme movie psychologically, acting wise. I love the film. I think it's really, really solid. Structurally, it's got some issues, right? But most of the effects are amazing. I think Barbara Hershey's performance is the highlight of the movie outside of the music. The music is superior. We'll dive into all of these aspects, but it's got brilliant performances from the majority of the cast. It's really well paced for at least its first 2/3. And even the last third, the last act is well paced, but it's a little goofy of an idea. You know, we're going to capture it in some fucking ice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, you know, based on the alleged true story of a woman who, and dealing with the idea that, you know, she was raped by allegedly these ghosts or some kind of psychic force or something like that. So this is something that happened to a real woman, and whether or not what actually happened, that's still up for debate. But it was investigated. So there's a lot of this that is true. It's based on the novel. Overall, though, I like it. I think it's shot well. It's performed brilliantly from the majority of the cast. The music is superior. I like this movie a lot. It deals with a tough subject in 1982 that not a lot of movies were talking about. And that's the idea of not believing a victim of sexual assault and abuse, right?
Yeah.
So, but it also ties it into, it's unfortunate because the movie came out in 82, right after Poltergeist, but it was like,
you're right.
In America, it came out in 83. So it was after Poltergeist had dropped. So it gets accused of being a lot like trying to be Poltergeist, but more adult. But it's just the zeitgeist of the time. This is, you know, there was parapsychology departments and shit. They didn't have access to liquid helium or whatever the hell that was, but you know what I'm saying. But overall, I really like the movie. I think it holds up, and it's one of the most underappreciated horror films. Meaning, not a lot of people talk. There's a lot of great horror films from the early 80s. This one doesn't get lumped in there as much. It took In Search of Darkness to bring it back into my mind.
Yeah.
And that's why I seeked it out to rewatch it. And I think I watched it on like Amazon or on YouTube or Tubi or somewhere at some point, like last year or two. And then now I got the Scream Factory, and I watched all the special features and shit too. And one of the parapsychologists, I guess, from the case, there's a little featurette with him, which I found pretty fascinating. So
that's sweet, dude. Yeah, I only ended up watching the Barbara Hershey interview, but I'll definitely watch all of those because I see that the Entity Files and including interview with Dr. Barry Taft. Wow, that's cool, man. Yeah, man, dude. Another thing, I thought the film was fantastic. It doesn't really feel like a 2-hour movie, but it really had you glued the entire time. You just want to know what's going on, what's going to happen next, because this woman keeps getting attacked. Like, and it's not like where it's like, oh, she gets attacked and then you wait an hour for her to get attacked again. Like, she's getting attacked 5 minutes in, then she's getting attacked another 5-10 minutes later. Like, they are fucking her up. If it's a one being or if it's the entity or whatever, this thing is fucking her up, bro. And literally so much where she has these huge bruises all over her, man. And just for this woman to go to the doctors and like tell them this, like I couldn't imagine like what it took for her, like just for that to happen to her, period. I don't know like how, like that takes a lot. It really like it's crazy. But then for like how for her to say that she like, you know, kind of thinks that like maybe a ghost did it or something, and these guys are just like looking at her, you know what I mean? It's like wow, you know what I mean? Like this woman was brave, I tell you. I wish there was like some actual like video footage of all this stuff. Like I don't know if they do in some of the behind the scenes.
Well, there's actual pictures. Like, so like in the story, they talk about how they got a picture of the electricity, right?
Yeah.
Well, in real life, what it is there's this like arc of light that they photographed over her sitting on the bed. And you can find that. And then they have these other two arcs that they captured, and they have some video footage, and you see like it's the typical stuff you see on like Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures, where you see like a speck of light. It's probably like a piece of dust, like hitting the light or something like that. But you can actually find some of that, and it's on the back. It's the Entity Files or whatever. Yeah, the one with the interview, Dr. Perry Taff or whatever. That's where that is, and it looks like it's from an old like DVD copy of this or something. But they have an interview with Barbara Hershey too, and she talks about like what it was like when she took on the role. First of all, she took on the role like 10 days before filming started. They kept trying to get different people. Nobody wanted to take the role because they thought it was not just that it was too heavy with its sexual content. And honestly, I mean, it is heavy, but it's not exploitative or anything like that, right? Like, I don't think it is, right? At all.
Within the context of the movie, like,
Yeah, exactly. But apparently a lot of people turned it down and were also disgusted by the idea that they would even do this. So it kind of almost soured her reputation a little bit as an actor doing the film, which I thought was wild.
Yeah, when Dylan said she was Oscar nominated, I was like, what? Like, in a horror movie? Like, that's but this was an intense movie. If anything, maybe it's just because it was too ahead of its time, like, and yeah, she was, like you said earlier, the highlight.
Well, I don't know if she was Oscar nominated for this though.
Well, not for this, but the fact that she was an Oscar nominated actress in a horror movie around this time.
It says 1996 Best Supporting Actress, The Portrait of a Lady.
Yeah.
But
and she's in a lot of other famous things. What, like Beaches or one of something like that? Not things I've watched, really, to be honest. They're kind of all dramas and shit. But
Jelani said, "Hey guys, couldn't make it on because money calls, but I love the film. Heck yeah, dude. Do you think that this really happened to this lady?
I mean, neither Steph nor myself were there. So
no, but you're Mr. Teen Dog Shades.
Well, I don't know, man. Ghosts aren't really necessarily something I believe in. Okay. But I don't like the idea of believing in things, because when you have a belief, you kind of want to defend it and you cling identity to it. Right. So I believe more in ideas. It's an interesting idea. Right. But like, I think I don't know, man. Me personally, like, I don't know, because ultimately there's a lot of layers to it, because the story is also about when a woman deals with these kind of things, especially back then. Even now, there's a stigma about it. There's a lack of wanting to discuss it. There's a lack of people believing you, almost in a way. Like, and so it's dealing with that. So I don't want to make light of this woman's situation where I didn't know anything about it. But after watching this doctor in this documentary, and it's the same type shit, I love watching Ghost Adventures. I love watching this shit, right? I don't know what it is. I get spooked out, by the way. If I'm by myself in the dark in an unknown location that somebody told me was haunted, that would freak me the fuck out, right? Like, I would love to go do that. That seems like a thrill. So there's an element that I want to believe in this kind of stuff. There's an element, though, when you start finding out. They mentioned that she was a drinker. She drank a lot of beer. She was a heavy drinker.
Oh, really?
When she stopped drinking, she stopped getting attacked by the entity. And so there is the idea that the only corroborating witness was her son. And in the movie, it's a very gross accusation that the one doctor makes, right?
Yeah.
But I can see where you would get that understanding. Maybe she gets sloshed and her son, and she doesn't remember it. She wakes up with these welts and he's telling, you get what I'm saying? So there's all kinds of layers to it. I don't know. I think that most of the real
old too. And
and I think that I honestly think that most of the real paranormal, supernaturally things that happen are the more underreported ones. Right. Yeah. And this was a pretty big deal when it was happening. Yeah. But at the same time, this was the height of all that. So I don't know. That's a long ass way of me saying I don't know. Damn, she could have just been. There's a psychological aspect to it. Even in the movie, there's a psychological aspect. Honestly. Well, in the movie, 100% because they're like, we got it trapped in this ice.
Watch the rose.
Oh my goodness. What do y'all think? I'm curious.
Man, I don't know, man. I like sometimes want to believe that shit is real, but then like when I see like, when they have like the Conjuring tapes and stuff at the end of the movies and like you're hearing like the real life tapes and then like.
But then there's all that stuff coming out about how like.
They page people off and stuff.
And shit like that.
Like, so in a way, honestly, I think it's phony, to be honest. I really want to believe in that stuff, to be honest. Not in like in the sense of where I'm going to be terrified to like get possessed or something. But like, you know what I mean? It's just, I think that's like almost like, if that shit's real, then you're like, then there's something in the afterlife. You know what I mean? Like if ghosts are real, then there's got to be something,
Well, and if you want to get teen dog shades, I like to think that, first of all, most of what people I think would consider UFO or alien activity, I think is ultra terrestrial.
Yeah.
It's not extraterrestrial, meaning not of this earth, but it's ultra terrestrial, meaning not of this terrestrial plane.
Oh, right? So I got you. Yeah,
and I do like it. I like that ghosts. I think ghosts, angels, demons, Virgin Marys. I think it all gets tied. I had a vision of Christ one time, right? Like, so like, I think it's all tied into the same thing. And it's just based on like an imprinted interpretation that you have. Like if you were raised in, say, a Western Judeo-Christian tradition, you may see a Virgin Mary in an instance like this, right? Yeah. But if you're hardcore into like aliens and conspiracy theories, you may see an alien or whatever, right? Or something like that, or ghosts, right? So I like in the movie that they mention that, like they mention that this is something crossing maybe a dimension. It doesn't feel like a haunting to them and things like that. So,
man, it's just one thing. Like, why is this ghost like doing this to this woman? Or this entity? Like, what is like? That's the one weird thing that I just don't get. Like, it's like more like where they're like, bringing. I guess with most like movies where people are getting haunted, they're like bringing chaos and what I mean to their life, or in this one it's like this lady is getting brutally and sexually assaulted like by a ghost or by this entity or whatever. It's crazy. That's the one thing I can't get. Is it a ghost or is like because it is a ghost and an entity the same thing, I guess, or is it just a different way of wording it? To me,
I think they're calling it an entity because they're talking about the idea that it may be not your traditional ghost.
That's right? Okay. See, that's what I would look at as an AA station cerebro.
I think that kind of adds to like the fear is the fact that it just randomly starts assaulting the shit out of her one day, like, and she doesn't. There's no rhyme or reason, like. Just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's no reason. Like she's not targeted. It's not like she's targeted because she did something. It's just. But that's crazy about like her being because in the movie she's not like a drinker or anything. She just seems like a really good mother, and
I don't know if they kind of confirmed it, but with that one manipulative psychologist, it kind of alluded to her having a troubled past. And is that the actual photo?
That's the real photo right there. Yeah.
And what that line around her is that supposed to be?
That's it.
The arc. They're saying it's like but they think that they did. He says he thinks it's like a long exposure of a globe because he says they kept seeing these like balls of like greenish yellow light, and that was moving across really quickly, and that's kind of like like an exposure, a long exposure shot of it.
Right.
But that's what the lightning is in the film. Allegedly, you remember that they say they caught it on camera.
Yeah,
so it's very.
See, that
book
looks like a man, or like the outline of a man, or something.
Yeah, well, they said that they saw that, right? But this could just be photography. But I don't know. There's other things.
Yeah,
too.
how would you do that? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that they did it, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not a projection because some people thought it was a projection, but it doesn't bend with the corner they were talking about or whatnot. But this is the alleged photo. But I mean, how many of us have taken photos, especially back in the days of taking actual photos, and you got like some kind of wonky light effect or something, right?
Yeah.
So
red eyes. Or the red eyes. He's the devil. He's the fucking devil. Man, I was thinking about, dude, I feel like this movie though is a perfect Teen Dog Shades movie too. Yeah, I don't know, man. This one really makes me like think. I want to dive into those behind the scenes. That's cool that they really like kind of dive into the real case. Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't know anything about the son thing. That's more fucked up than there being a ghost sexually assaulting you. If you're getting drunk and your son is doing something to
well,
you.
I'm just saying that's just an idea. Like it could, I'm not saying that's
what the doctor was, because they have to think of every option.
But the doctor just said when she quit drinking, it stopped happening. And so I know at the end of the movie, it says that the attacks keep happening, but less frequently. Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't really look any more further than this Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know that she died in like 2009 or something.
Oh, really?
Something like that, maybe 99, but I don't know if it continued or if it, I don't know. I just know that he said that when she stopped drinking, but then I came here to get ready to do the show and had to wait like 15 more minutes.
I wonder though, like how, it's just crazy, like how you go to somebody about that. I guess this was the time though that this was popular with the Conjuring, like the people who did the what are their names? The
Warrens?
The Warrens, yeah. Like those people were out at this time, I believe. So this was like a popular thing. But it's like,
it was popular. The occult was popular. Chaos magic was becoming an idea, and just people were interested in the occult. That's why we had that backlash in the 80s of the satanic panic and all that kind of stuff. It's just
not the way I would want to get famous, I guess. And I don't think it's like you're going to be famous for like a week, a month at most, and then after that, it's going to be forgotten.
Yeah, and that's what's really fascinating about this movie is Steph first mentioned layers, right? And that's one layer is the mystery. Did this happen? What kind of entity would do this? Like how? Like let's talk about that. Is it true? Is it psychological? All that, and then there's the not so subtle subtext that this is a woman who was sexually assaulted, and people don't believe her, right? And it's a powerful journey, and the most heartbreaking moment to me. And they show these physical acts of violence and violation against her, but like. The most heartbreaking moment to me is that when these dudes finally like hear or smell something and they start maybe believing her relief, right? And the doctor mentions that on that little documentary. He says like she was so happy that someone finally believed her, right? And like that's a really crazy moment. Like it gets maybe a little overplayed in the movie because she's like, it's a brand new day and the sun is shining and all that stuff. But like, imagine what it would be like to be somebody who had this kind of trauma and sexual violence perpetrated against them and nobody fucking believed you. Not the doctors, not your family, not your friends. Like that's got to be a very isolating place to fucking be. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a psychological trauma right there, bro.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And that's I almost feel like entity was fucked up, but the psychologist that she goes to is probably one of the villains as well. Like he was pretty, he's a very what's the word, slimy and just I don't know.
Yeah, and he's developing these feelings for her, right? But it's kind of like you're a Lost fan, aren't you, Steph? Right. Yeah. It's kind of like a Jack thing. You got to fix me. Oh. You don't love me. You just want to fix me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Ah, that was
Yo, did that
Random
chick fuck a
Shower.
ghost in a scary movie? No, that's not quite what happened. But it's a pretty effed up movie, Perry. I think I'd love to see your reaction to it, bro. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that would be wild.
Those effects, kind of
Dude,
reminded. It wasn't like American Werewolf in London, but the level that they were like showing shit, you know, like with her being
it's
violated
well,
and
it's
like the
early
effects.
stages of those
It was
effects.
impressive. Yeah, that shit. It was like for its time, that was very impressive.
So the way they did that, like the bed scenes in particular,
Yeah,
so they cast a different person's body.
oh, it was a different person's body.
Yeah, so it's a different person's body. They cast it, and they got it in the bed, and obviously she's laying like this, right? And there's these two dudes there. One is doing the arm movements or some shit, and one has got they basically got these it's like gloves, right? You know, we all had those like little puppets when you were like, what were they called? Boggins or some shit like that, where you put your fingers in them and move them. So this dude's got his fingers up there in these fake breasts, and he's like moving them like this. He's like moving them back out like that. So he's pulling.
So they look like
on them, and it looks like it looks like someone's fondling her breasts, which are obviously fake. So like people say that there's a lot of nudity and all kinds of stuff, and there's really not. There are a couple scenes of her, like when she goes into the bathtub, but it's never exploitative. It's never in a second like this. If this gets you off, sorry. So like that's pretty. You need to go see a parapsychologist or some shit, bro. This movie is. That's what I mean when I say it's difficult to watch.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't. I don't think it goes super far. But like Jelani said earlier, I don't know if they would make this film today, or if they did, it would like be a whole different animal.
Yeah.
But this was I think it's still a very powerful movie, man. Like honestly,
it definitely is.
Never easy to watch. That's the ghost.
It's crazy, man. Shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, like they do have a couple like when they're doing the fondling, and then there's like a split scene where she kind of like rolls to her side, and it looks like you could see like her real butt or something. I wonder if that was actually because they
there's actual nudity from her in this movie,
but it's very minor, not like
it's not like
prosthetics is where it's just right out in the open. But yeah, that is obviously fake. It looks good, but you can tell that it's makeup, you know.
Well, yeah, especially on Blu-ray on a 4K TV.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is new to me. I'm just like, man, the colors.
You got a 4K TV?
Yeah, I thought I told you got that last time for Valentine's Day. My girl got me she got me a 4K.
Sweet. Now you gotta get the 4K player, bro.
Yeah, we'll worry about that. I got a region-free Blu-ray player. I'm good enough with that for now.
So. I know, but you gotta get the 4K one day.
I know, bro. I know, man.
I gotta get me a region-free player.
And I gotta start buying all this shit again.
Yeah, no, just buy certain things, man. Just certain. Only things that you have that like are worth it. You know what I mean? Like that you think would actually like look good, look like, you know, that are warrant 4K, you know.
Well, the first one definitely the first one I want to get is going to be Suspiria and Halloween.
Yeah. There's certain stuff though that they're making like that is only 4K, like the Beastmaster, that's a 4K set. I mean, that comes with a Blu-ray.
Yeah, I already got that one, so we're good.
Exactly. So
anyway,
I wanted to speak on what Albert's saying. I could see that, Albert, but I just think I don't think it's I can see people seeing that, but just because assault's difficult to watch to begin with. You know, I don't think the movie's over the top with it. Like it's within the context of the story.
That scene in particular is shown as being a violation. It's shown as a horrific thing. Like,
dude, she does so good.
It's not glamorized
like her face is being like like the shower one. Oh my god, when she's in the shower,
she put herself physically through the ringer, bruh. Like if you want to go ahead and start talking about favorite characters, I think we all got the same one.
Without a doubt.
I mean, you know, and like she put herself in that role. And I think somebody, I don't remember who it was, I should have rewatched the bit, but in Search of Darkness, when they're talking about this movie, they're talking about what she brought to that role.
Yeah,
like she feels like a real fucking young woman who's trying to better herself,
Yeah.
who this shit fucking happens to. She's trying to keep her family together. She's a single mom. Her shitty ass fucking boyfriend can't even deal with it. Like, she carries the movie, bro, performance wise. Everybody else I think performs fine, but she in particular, she carries the fucking movie. She's levels beyond everybody else in this film.
Yeah, her psychiatrist or whatever that guy is, the more handsome doctor, he's the best. He's the second best. Like, he's the runner up, which I do like him. But Barbara Hershey just steals the show. Like, when I was just watching some of those scenes of her, like, and it's like, think about it, like, she's in a room by herself, just like throwing herself around like a rag doll, just it is incredible, man. Like, no wonder she's an Oscar nominee or an Oscar winner. Like,
Absolutely.
she is a fantastic actress. Like, she is so good. Like, and she even said that's what, like, she's not knocking the movie being a horror movie, but she's like, I didn't look at it as a horror movie. She's like, like, she went in as if it was a movie she could get Oscar nominated for. You know what I mean? She took it as
it's a psychological exploration of trauma.
Yeah, exactly. She took it 100% serious, and yeah, it's a horror movie, but she took it 100% serious, and she takes it. So, she takes something that could have turned really goofy and really cheesy, and she took it next level, man, where it just is incredible to watch, and you're just in awe the entire time that anything is like going down with her. Like, it's crazy, man. And then when the music is going too.
Oh yeah, yeah. You could take out the ghost aspect almost, and just maybe have replaced it with the fact that she was a drinker, like in real life.
Yeah.
And that she's a woman who just keeps waking up assaulted, and she's doesn't know how it's happening, and that would be a deep psychological movie in the same sense,
I would have liked that if they really played with both. Like, is it an entity or is it all in her head or something? Like, I would have liked that they kind of did like a back and forth, and then maybe it would have been then it would have been like an entity, but it would have been nice to see like a real, like, kind of messing with her head, like, this is all in your head or something, and like really trying.
Well, I think there are moments because she's so convincing in the role where we almost go along with her when she's questioning herself, even though we as the audience see that she is being thrown around, right? Like, we know that something is happening. Yeah, but at the same time, like, there is honest psychological trauma that comes out, and like people will hurt themselves and shit like that, and like not remember it and shit. So like, I think it does kind of play that balance to a moment, and then it's like in the third act, it's just like, we're gonna be a paranormal TV show,
right?
Like, and at the time that shit didn't exist. So maybe what we're saying is that all these paranormal shows, like, they're all like just mimicking the third act of Poltergeist and The Entity.
It's no longer called The Entity. The Catalyst is the new name.
I love it.
Let's see. What did you think about like the store, or I'm trying to think how to word it. What did you think about like the
style and structure?
Style and structure, yeah. Thanks, Robbie. I can't do it without you.
I'll start off.
Yeah, my bad. I should have said you.
Oh no, sorry. I thought it was a really well shot film. Like the certain angles they use. I think someone brought up the shower or the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
And there was like there's certain shot series in where it's like kind of like diagonal, certain instances. Really it was an interesting. There's interesting camera choices. There's just cool shots especially for like an early 80s horror movie. I particularly like simple, but it was effective. Like the last shot where she's like walking out the house with her kids, and the dialogue starts scrolling up about her clothing. She was already outside by then, but it was like just of the doorway and like them walking out. It was just for a movie like this at caliber or aspect, like a ghost psychological movie, had some cool shots, I thought, especially for a horror movie.
It did.
I think the atmosphere was done well. The music added to that, like what was the word? Ethereal is a good choice for it. I think that was a very you weren't, kind of left things up in the air. Like you never
Yeah.
knew what, kind of added to that effect of the movie. Yeah, structure. Maybe like Batman tighten up just a little bit, but no, for the most part, it was enjoyable. Maybe it had to be fleshed out to really nail all the psychological aspects along with the horror.
I was surprised that it was 2 hours long.
No,
Like,
yeah,
especially at this time, hour and a half was
Yeah.
like key,
yeah,
especially with
No.
horror movies.
yeah, no, yeah. I was gonna say when I first saw this was 2 hours, I was like, oh shit, like I was
Yeah,
kind of put
same.
off, but
I was
I
like,
almost
whoa.
feel like the creators of this movie thought they were making something on the level of The Exorcist. I don't think it
Yeah.
gets there, but I feel like that's the intention.
that's what they.
I believe that. I believe
I
that.
can see it.
Figure Drawing said something good. Logically, ghost experience are akin to hallucinations. Hallucinations are real to the individual. Explains why you can't take video or photos of ghosts, which I actually do talk about that when they get that picture and they're like, but you can't get a picture of an hallucination. But that would make sense in like our real grounded world where they never have like pictures. It's very rare. And if they do, it kind of looks like kind of dumb, like that.
Like the one we just showed?
Exactly.
Like the real one?
Yeah.
Versus the one they capture where it's like fucking like lightning is in the goddamn room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that makes a lot of sense, Figure. Robbie, what did you think of the style and structure?
Well, first thing I want to point out is that the director is Sidney J. Furie, who has been directing movies since the late 50s. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, his last film was in 2014. Very long career. Some movies most movies you'll never have heard of. But here's something wild. The last movie review we did on PCP Movie Night was Superman 4 Quest for Peace, right? Because we did all 4 of those Superman movies. This is the same fucking director.
No way.
The guy who did The Quest for Peace did this movie. He's also the uncredited director of The Jazz Singer, the Neil Diamond fucking classic. I love that movie. Okay. He's also, you ready for this? The writer, director, creator of the Iron Eagle franchise, my man.
No.
Come on. And he also did the Ladybugs movie with Rodney Dangerfield. You know, the soccer movie? Bruh.
Talk about diversity.
What a weird career.
Yeah.
But the cinematography is really spot on. I really like the way that the film looks. The cinematography is by Stephen Barham. Is there anything on his list that really stands out? The Outsiders, Rumblefish, Something Wicked This Way Comes, St. Elmo's Fire, The Untouchables, He Said, She Said, Raising Cain, Hoffa. Remember Hoffa? Danny DeVito did that shit. Do you remember that? Mission Impossible. He's the cinematographer, the Shadow, Carlito's Way, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. That was his last film. I think it's all right. The cinematography's great. The directing's okay for the most part. I think it's solid enough. Structure-wise, it's that third act. It really kind of throws it off. It goes from like this exploration of this woman and what she's going through to, and I don't mind it. It actually works for the most part, where she has some people that believe her now and they're trying experiments, but it tries to reach too big. It tries to get too big. Oh, we're going to bring in. It's so freaking unbelievable. First of all, that not only, and I don't think this part's real, but so she had the parapsychologists from the university, but also the doctor she first goes to see, which seemed like he was a medical doctor, winds up being a psychological doctor at the same university. So I like how they're bringing up the whole science versus, I mean, they're playing with some things like, who are the real crocs? Is it the parapsychologist? Is it science and psychology? At least I like the idea that it kind of in a very Frankenstein, Dracula, old school Universal monster kind of way plays with the idea that we don't know everything yet. Right. So I like that aspect, but I do feel like it tries to get too grandiose, where this is a movie about this woman. And ultimately, the movie is about her acceptance of it, right? But almost like an ownership of it, right? So the big climatic thing should be a psychological climatic thing. And the way they try to portray that on screen with the big ice bomb thing and the elaborate setup, like that just seems kind of fucking ridiculous, which never happened, by the way. That's all made up. The doctor was asked by the guy, it's the guy who wrote the book, was somehow involved early on in the case, like was interested. I think he's the one that maybe connected her with the parapsychologist or whatever, right? But he said, I need to embellish this third act, the end of this novel. What would you do if you had no restrictions? And he said, we would recreate her house in a controlled setting, and we would try to capture it with all these different instruments. And somehow that in the movie, because in the book, that's what they went with, right? They had all these different instruments that were going to document its existence. But in the movie, that somehow turns into, we're going to trap a ghost in ice because it's so cold, not even a ghost can escape it. And it's such a weird bit, man. It really, and how much, think of the fucking, it really, the movie starts losing it for me there, because it's like, after everything this woman goes through, you're going to put her in a place and like put her in danger like that, where like this liquid helium or whatever the hell it is like could literally kill her. Like, that's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous to me. But
agreed. No.
Yeah.
Well said.
So I think structurally it falls apart in the third act.
Yeah. It becomes it's veers away from like her trying to.
This movie is the original paranormal activity. I could see that straight up.
I guess the thing is this, and it's kind of sad because Jelani even says it down there. She has to accept the attacker, which is effed up. And also, like, the buildup of the movie is her dealing with this, and the end is not necessarily her conquering it. The end is them capturing existence of the ghost. So it's a victory for the parapsychologist, not so much for her, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
But the ultimate victory for her is that she was believed. So that somebody believed her.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the style was pretty good. I thought it was structurally shot well. I thought it was paced pretty good. Like Steph said, it could have been maybe snipped a little bit. This is 82, so I mean, obviously practical effects weren't that crazy. I'm sure it didn't have that big of a budget. I'm not exactly sure. I guarantee it didn't have a budget like Poltergeist to do the shit they did. You know what I mean? So that's probably why we get just more like flashing static, you know what I mean? That looks like electricity or something, instead of like some big, you know, like entity or, you know, visualized. But I think it's perfect for what it is, man. It just is so jaw-dropping at times with everything Barbara Hershey brings to it. I just don't even care about anything else at that point. Like, it's like, just throw a camera in front of her and you're good, you're golden. But it's not that way. And Sydney J. Fury does a great job at filming a lot of these scenes, like getting very close up to her face, like when her face is like in the shower curtain and kind of pulling back a little bit, and then when she's like standing on the wall and then just drops to the ground like that. There's some really structurally well shot scenes in this, especially when the attacks are coming. And I think you did great.
And the practical effects are good too. And Jillian just point out that Stan Winston did have a little bit of a hand in it. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. Stan Winston did have something? I thought I did see that in the credits. Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, let me put this back on again, sir. As I love Stan Winston. So, rest in peace to the late, great legend, man. Creator of freaking Pumpkinhead. Creator of so many incredible effects, man. Stan Winston is a legend, bro. You doing the bit on me?
Man, I had it going for a while. Anyway.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I was like, man, he's really reading those comments. So, what do we think about the music, guys? Steph, we'll start off with you again. Sorry if I keep putting you on the spot first.
No, not yeah. The music, like I said earlier, was a very thorough. It definitely added to the atmosphere of and the tension of the scenes, especially when she's getting assaulted. I think you pointed out earlier, Robbie, like how that comes in, like it really kind of gives you that brace of like, oh shit, like it gives that feeling of assault almost.
It's wild, man.
Yeah, it was. I think it was well done. Especially, it definitely did its job for a horror movie. I'm not big on the music, so I'm trying to pay attention more. But I definitely think
this one I feel like sometimes it gets a little past me. Sometimes I'm so invested in the movie, the music doesn't hit me until the second watch, where I can really like I'll get it, but I don't pay it as much attention. The only way in a movie is if I'm like, this music's terrible. But if I don't really like, if it doesn't like where I'm like, oh my god, it like sometimes it just goes perfect with the movie, and then the second time I'll really get to listen to it more and just kind of get to hear the tones and stuff.
This one though, right out the gate, let you hear it, which I
good.
really like.
That's what I was like for the first time I watched this. I was like, holy shit! That was one of the first things I noticed. I was like, this is fucking incredible.
Even Brooks would have noticed the music in this one,
right?
Like it's
so.
But no, I think it definitely got the job done and complemented the scene, the scenes that they were in, and it got what it was going for. So, what do we give it a rating?
With the music?
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it though. I thought it was a great score.
The score is done by Charles Bernstein, right? And so here's the so we already have one coincidence where on PCP movie night this week we did the Superman films. The director of Quest for Peace did this film.
Right.
The composer of this film composes the big finale of March Madness at the end of the month, which is April Fool's Day from '86. It's the same composer. But what most people will know Charles Bernstein from is from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wow.
He's the same composer. He is an amazing composer who has done a lot of cool stuff. And it's not all horror, but he's got a little documentary in here too. They're talking to him, and he says it's always the horror films that he does that people remember. And it's because he knows exactly how to compose for horror films. You think of Nightmare on Elm Street, you think of that music. You think of The Entity, after you see it, you think of that music. And at the end of March Madness, when you think of April Fool's Day, you're going to think of that music. The music is amazing. He got criticized because they thought that he was not taking the assault scene seriously with the bum, bum, bum. I really disagree. He's trying to help us experience what she's going through. Because out of nowhere, this loud ass, bah, 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 and it feels like it's unsettling. It feels like an attack, right? And so that's so brilliant to me. I fucking think the score in this movie is brilliant. The way it starts with like that organ, and then it's like bum, bum, bum. You know what it sounds like, Dylan? In Search of Darkness. The theme of In Search of Darkness is lifting this shit. I swear to God, bruh. Like it's so synthy.
It did sound really familiar when I was hearing it.
It's so crazy when you think about how the 80s and that synth wave sound and the horror dark wave sound that you feel like is on every single 80s horror film, but it's not. But it's in these early ones, and this is one that, bruh, it is synthwave, right? And it works so freaking well. It's a beautiful, assaulting score. I fucking think it's one of Bernstein's best.
I couldn't agree more. And then when I saw it was Bernstein, I was like, that makes sense why it's so goddamn good.
Yeah, the way he uses those synths, he uses that in Elm Street, you know, the bum, bum, bum,
I
bum,
love that.
discordant notes. Like he's like it, you all of those elements from Elm Street and April Fool's Day are in here. And
I could see him taking
works.
a little Exorcist vibe out of it when he does the synth, you know? Just trying to take that level of like awesomeness. Not saying he's mocking, like jocking off it, but I could just like, you know, in the beginning when she's like like getting like leaving work and everything, you know?
He also did Deadly Friend, which
Oh, did he?
I still haven't seen. So
Me either. I want to watch it though. I haven't picked up the Scream Factory.
me neither. I need to get it. But yeah, like Two Gun says right there, pew pew. It emphasized those scenes, man.
Straight
It,
up. Straight up.
Straight up.
It really like you can't say it any better. It really emphasizes scenes.
It's salting your senses.
It just is so big and bombastic. I love it, man. I think it's so great. The music, the entire film, like there's not like the beat, like how the synthy is, how the freaking the scene, you know, when the attack music, that's what I'm trying to think how to word it. The attack music, like Jillian said, is just terrifying. It just really brings it to that next level, and I absolutely love it. That is one beside Barbara Hershey and the music, though, and the special effects. Those are my two favorite. Those are my three favorite things, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Insane, man. Let's see. What else? As we did music. I guess should we go to what do you think this movie's trying to say, or is there one thing that I'm missing?
No, that's pretty much it, man.
Well, let's hear. I've been hitting Steph with the first one, so let's start off with you, Robbie.
I mean, it's about not believing. It's about not being believed in. It's about a lot of things. But ultimately, this is a movie about a woman who is being sexually assaulted and nobody believes her. Not her friends, not her family, not the doctors. And she has to go into extreme situations to find people to actually believe her, to listen to her. So there is that whole kind of idea to it, right? It's probing those questions of what is real, what isn't. Is it psychological? Is it true? By the end of the film, they're saying that it's true. They validate what she is experiencing. So this is a movie rather ahead of its time for 1982, 83 when it was released in the US, but it was made in 82, right? And released at first in the 82. But that's what it is. We hear this story and it feels like it's a new message, you know, where believe women, the Me Too movement, all that kind of stuff, right? Understanding that this sexual violence happens, not turning a blind eye to it, not trying to find some stuffy ass, like those doctors that are sitting there gathered discussing her sexual history and who she's with and all that shit. Like, you see how fucking ridiculous and pretentious and how much they actually don't fucking care. They care more just to write it off, right? And just say that she's crazy. She's hysterical. You hear that word of hysteria so many times. Hysteria, hysterical. That comes from the word hysteria is hystera, hysterectomy. Like you get what I'm saying? Like that is a word that's directly involving females. That's a female acting out, being ridiculous. Like, nah, this shit happens. It exists. And I think that's the overall message, man, of this movie. Is it's about a woman who's gone through some sexual violence and is going through it, but nobody will believe her, and she can't help her. She like the desperate situation that brings one into. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's what it is to me, man. Believe women, almost in a way, right?
Steph, my man, what did you think? What do you think it's trying to say?
Robbie kind of touched on it. Acceptance. Like I think she just kind of wanted to be believed in throughout the film. She wanted someone to accept what she was going through instead of trying to spin their own narrative on it. She had to accept what she was going through herself. Like, you know, she had to accept maybe that it wasn't a ghost initially. Maybe it was certain choices she had made earlier on in her life that were having a psychological effect on her later on. I'm reaching, but I'm gonna go with acceptance.
Well, another thing too is they're talking about the idea of a lot of this could be because she was raised in an environment, right, where her dad was religious. Her dad didn't really apparently touched her in a wrong way, and showing how this stuff trauma starts from an early age. Right. So there's another element, even if it's just from a psychological, if she's not actually being attacked by a ghost, right, if that's how you want to perceive the story, it is about that though, how these kind of psychological traumas start and develop, and about how repression of sexual desires and sexual reality is very harmful to individuals and society as a whole. So I think you touched on that a little bit too, Steph.
Heck yeah. Anything else you're thinking, Steph?
No, Robbie did pretty well. That was I'm sure you'll better than I. So
you sparked that, bro. Come on, man. Don't sell yourself short. Don't be like a poltergeist entity trapped in ice doing the bit. That's how they defeated the entity, man. They forced him to do the bit. He got Phantom Zone like Zod in them. I wish there was a button where we could make our little panels like do that like effect, and we could just like that'd be dope. Yeah. StreamYard, get on it. We know you're listening.
But yeah, man. I guess I would really just kind of go with what you and Steph and Robbie said. You know, it's just mainly about these women being attacked, and you know, a lot of times people brush them off and sometimes don't even believe them, or
I don't want to just say just women, because it happens to men too.
Yeah, you're right.
Whether by men or other women, like sexual violence, assault, all that kind of shit in general. Yeah. It's about like, because it wasn't something people talked about, and it was a shameful thing. Like if you were raped,
yeah,
like there are way more rapes than what are reported even today. So think about 1982 and think about what they're trying to say back then. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And, you know, I think it's a big thing for this woman to come out and just basically say what happened to her. Because like you said, a lot of shit like that happens and it's not reported, because a lot of times people are scared of how people will look at them after, what people will think of them after, or that they won't be believed.
Look at the doctors.
Something like that could happen to you. And
yeah, look at the doctors when they're discussing it. Look at her friend.
Yeah.
And her friend, when she like finally sees it and she's like, I am so sorry. Like, imagine like if you didn't believe, like we've all been in an experience where somebody said like, oh, I'm not the one who broke the plate. And you thought they did, right? Maybe you yelled at a kid, or maybe you got mad at your brother, your sister or something. You find out that they were right. They were honest, and it makes you feel like shit. Can you imagine it on that level? Like when her friend has that moment with her, but then her friend just disappears. So I'm like, I'm glad that you're like sorry, but like, where the fuck did you go? And that was a really nice, touching moment too, though. Like, it's a really good just look into the life of a single mom in 1980 fucking two. You know, like at the same time, outside of all of that stuff.
It's like, you know, even with that, you know, the trauma of like, because any sexual assault is like, you know, a lot of the times the victims not only feel ashamed, but they feel like it's their fault that it happened. You know, like So it's like no one's believing you, and it's like it's really gonna fuck you up. Like,
shit. It's a sad thing. And it's a big thing that this movie touches on, and I think it's a fantastic movie and really worth the watch. And I am so glad that Two Gun got this for me, so I could add it to the collection.
And since it was made in 82, they were able to tell that story without trying to like hold anything back. Right? You know, they weren't like afraid of like I don't know how it would be difficult to make this movie today. It'd be very different.
Jelani had mentioned that earlier, that this movie cannot be remade.
And we say that a lot when we talk about these movies from the 80s, by the way, in the 70s.
Yeah, it's sad, man. I'm glad though some movies don't need to be remade, but honestly, if they could do something, if they went fully, that's the thing. If they remade something like this, they wouldn't take it as serious as the original version. If they went 100%, 110% all the way in, they could do something fantastic, especially in today's day and age. But this movie is just fantastic, man. It really hits so many levels between Barbara Hershey's acting, the music, just what it's trying to say and just what it's doing and the way it's shot. It is an incredible film, and I'm so glad that Two Gun recommended this one. Um, I gotta start freaking doing a little poll like you do eventually, man, and have make it a little easier for me at times, and have some people do polls or have recommendations. So many. I mean, I know I get recommendations here and there, but then sometimes we might not own it, and then I gotta pick it up, and then we get to it. There's just so many.
We can get a poll set up. We'll get a poll set up for you soon, Dylan.
Yeah. Plus, man, there's so many movies we want to do.
PCP's doing a poll at the end of March Madness, getting ready for a certain show. So we'll do a poll right after that.
Yeah. Well, I know we'll get it. Man, there's just so many good things we got planned, man. This is like seriously, man. We're just like, how long have we been doing the horror show? A year now? It's not been 2 years because you said March Madness. We've done 2 of them.
Correct. It's not been 2 years, but
like
this
maybe
is the second March. No, you've done it for a year and 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You started at the beginning of 2021, Dylan.
Okay, man, I'm bad at that stuff, so yeah. I can never
we literally just started year 2. Remember that was a big deal. You were like year 2 of Dylan's horror show kicking off.
Yeah. No, well, when you say that, I'm thinking I'm like in 2 years in, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I get what you mean. We're 2 months in of year 2.
Yeah, you're like Batman, you're not quite Batman yet, because Batman was like a year, I think, in 6 or 7 months. So
yeah,
you're getting there though.
Midnight in Paris is dope, Barry. But yeah, man. Y'all want to do the rating then?
Yeah.
All right. Anyone who has seen The Entity, make sure to throw your rating down below out of 1 to 5 slips, 1 to 5 you digs. You know how we rock. We'll go around and we'll start with Robbie first. What do you want to give this, man?
I'm gonna give it 4 you digs. It's all on the atmosphere, the cinematography, but mostly on the performance by Barbara Hershey, the boldness of telling the story in 82, doing a ghost poltergeist type story, but doing it in a different way, a way that has a little bit more subtext that actually is a little bit more timeless, I think, unfortunately so. And that music really, I think this movie's a 3.5. That music for me just kicks it up to a 4.
Oh my God.
It's the horror show. I've had like 3 fucking beers. I'm going 4. I'm going 4, bro. I'm dreaming. I'm feeling good right now. So I'm just saying 4 you digs, bro.
Hell yeah.
Deserves it for me, man.
Hell yeah. Steph, what are you thinking on this, my man?
Because ghost movies aren't usually my thing. It was a well-made movie. I was gonna go with 3.69, but I will raise this to a 4 because of the multiple layers, and it had certain scenes. It just wasn't the ghost that was the entity, that was the monster or the villain. It was like the people who didn't believe her, the psychologist, her psychologist, scientist, whatever. There's like a lot of factors coming at her, and it wasn't just the ghost that made it scary. It's the fact that she wasn't being hurt, no one believed her.
Yeah.
And of course this all is tops that, but 2 hours. Well, I was kind of thrown off by that, but it surprised. I love when movies surprise me, and it surprised me well. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Like,
hell yeah.
Solid,
yeah, man. It's 2 hours, but it's paced pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's not much. Like I know you could maybe tighten it a tiny bit, but honestly, I'd have to really watch it again to see if there were what I would tighten out of it. Because for the most part, I think everything was pretty much good. Maybe there would be like I probably don't even know if I would shave 5 minutes out of it. You know what I mean?
If you tighten anything, it's with the fake love interest, right?
Yeah.
The bearded guy or whatever his name is.
When he
Ron Silva.
Ron
Silva.
Oh my god, when he walks in on her being fondled, that is the funniest, man. And he's just like talking to the doctor. He's like, I can't do it. I could have dealt with sickness. I could have dealt with anything, but not this.
He's like, I ain't fucking with no ghosts.
Yo, like, what is it? What's that in Ghostbusters? Like, what do they say? Like, I ain't scared of no ghosts. You know?
Yeah,
that dude's the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I feel y'all straight up, man. Like, dude, I'm giving this a 4. I think the music is so incredible. It's shot really well. Barbara Hershey just steals the show. You know, over time, man, I could maybe raise it a 0.5. You know, it's still kind of fresh in my head. And and like maybe after I watch, sometimes when I watch the special features and I learn more about the true story, I might like it a little bit more, and maybe I would bump it up a 0.5. But I think it's a solid 4 all day. The special effects, Barbara Hershey, the music, the cinematography, the way it's shot. They don't go overboard with the lightning stuff where then it just seems like outdated and cheesy, because if they would have went really overboard, it could have really looked bad over the years, you know. So I like that they keep it close to the vest with that, and I think it's good that they did it that way, and I think it really gives it layers and makes it, you know, feel, you know, what is it? Ominous, I guess would be the word, where, you know, like there's just like we talked about, where it's like it could be, you know, is it all in her head? Was it because she was drinking? I know they don't really talk about her drinking in the movie, but was it all in her head, or, you know, what was going on with this, you know? And
like an ambiguous side of
it makes you really think, you know, and I love movies like that where they really make you think, and it's just not all in the forefront, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of left up to debate, you know, and especially with how it ends, you know. You never know. She could have been haunted. You think it's over, and she could have been haunted for the rest of her life or something, you know. But yeah, man, I give it a 4 all day. Let's see. Albert Langford gave it a 4 as well. Eric gave it a 4 out of 5. Barbara Hershey 5 out of 5. Barbara Hershey 36, 26, 36. And let's see, my man Two Gun Pedro gave it a 4.5 slips. I know this is a very near and dear movie to him, and it really got him when he was younger. So, and it stuck with him over the years. I know he told me. And I honestly, man, it's a movie that's gonna stick with me as well, because just watching it, man, like those scenes with Hershey, man, my jaw was just like to the ground, especially with the music. So 4 is all around. That's an average score with Two Guns 4.5 of 4.069, dude. Come on now.
Nice.
Dude, now that is the way to kick off March Madness, baby. Hell yeah. Now that concludes the freaking review for The Entity. Let me see if I got any horror news, and we'll do a little show and tell before we get out of here. I don't think I have much, though. I know, obviously, the Batman came out. Go to your local theater, as long as it's not a Cinemark, and you know, go support it. Alien film franchise resurrected by Evil Dead director Fede Alvarez, the guy who directed the remake Evil Dead, and I believe he was a producer for Don't Breathe and stuff like that. Fantastic horror director, man. Yeah. Fantastic. Let me see what
you said Alien, right?
Alien, yeah. Wow, and I believe that I heard that he had brought his idea. He was the writer of Don't Breathe. He does a lot of good screenplays. I don't know if he directed Evil Dead. Yeah, he did direct Evil Dead, the From Dusk Till Dawn show, Don't Breathe.
Oh, that was solid.
Yeah, he's a great horror director.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that.
I'm really excited because I think he could really bring it back to like the horror aspect instead of like Alien Covenant, where it was more like kind of turning into like an action film, which I did like Covenant and I love Prometheus. But I guess what was Fede Alvarez took his idea to Ridley Scott a couple years ago, and he really liked it. And now that like Disney owns it, I guess they maybe came to Ridley and they maybe wanted to do something. And Ridley reached out to Fede and asked if he still wanted to do it, and
Right.
Fede jumped on it. So I'm really excited to, because I know other directors have done Alien movies, but they obviously weren't that great,
Yeah, they
and
weren't. Yeah.
so like the best ones obviously are done by Scott. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's gonna be really interesting, especially if Scott is kind of giving Fede like the blessing to
Take
do
the
this,
reins.
and
Yeah.
he's kind of reached out to him to be like, "You want us to do it?" So I'm really excited to see what Fede Alvarez is gonna bring to
Surprising.
the Alien franchise. That's gonna be awesome because I love Alien, man, straight up, and I hope it comes out soon because that's gonna be a cool one to come. Like we can review Alien before all that stuff comes out. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man.
This isn't really news, but must have been some article where it said with all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre hype that there was gonna be Leatherface, Steven Sesko, and James Wan tear into the Chainsaw sequels trilogy that almost was, where where Toby Hooper and James Wan were gonna work together, and Toby Hooper was gonna direct a sequel that took place seconds after the original, where Sally Hardesty is in the back of the truck still, and then James Wan was gonna direct the next one after it. So it was
Wow.
gonna be like a trilogy, as I said. That
Bruh.
would have been wild, man, to see James Wan do a freaking trilogy and not only have Toby Hooper do a direct sequel to his, original, even though we had gotten one before, but it wasn't like direct where it took place seconds like directly after.
That'd be dope. That would have been dope, man.
That would have been what could have been, man. That is crazy. I know they dropped a new poster for Jordan Peele's mysterious third horror movie, Nope, and it looks pretty cool. It looks like there's something going on with the horses, because I was watching some breakdowns and they were saying maybe they're like these mutated alien horses or something, but I don't know that's one thing I do really like about this movie. This movie I'm kind of more hyped for than anything. I'm still just not a fan of like his what are they his like agenda, where you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think
I don't think he has an agenda. I think he's doing some good social commentary though. That's just me though.
Maybe Candyman was the one with the agenda.
He didn't direct that film, bro. Like,
but
stop
he
putting
had
that
a
on
big
him.
part. Hey man, I didn't care about Us either.
Yeah, because you don't understand it, man. Just watch it a few more times.
I watched
that movie's
like 3,
amazing.
4 times. Get Out is.
I don't want to get into this, man. I don't want to get into this.
I hope Nope is awesome, bro. I mean, he just keeps letting me down, man. Twilight Zone, the show sucked. You know what I'm saying?
Producer, brother.
Man,
Whatever.
But you can't keep putting your name on shit that sucks, But I want good shit from him. I want him to do good stuff, man. So I really hope Nope is awesome. I feel like M. Night Shyamalan vibes coming from it though, so we'll see what happens. He's just not doing it for me, man. Like Get Out was the best thing he did. Us was okay. Candyman was okay. I get he didn't direct it.
He didn't direct Candyman.
He didn't, and if he did direct it, it wouldn't have looked neat because visually, Candyman.
It would have had a good third act if he would have done it. I guarantee it.
Maybe, but he was a producer, so he let that shit slide by.
I think you don't understand filmmaking, but it's okay.
Man, his name was all over.
He's an executive producer. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I don't know,
doesn't
but
matter.
he was also a writer. Him and Nia DaCosta wrote it together.
Whatever. Whatever, man. I don't want to get into this discussion right now.
But
not after the entity. We've already gotten heavy. And then last week we got super heavy for some unknown reason. So let's just calm down.
Peele is like a modern Rod Serling.
I can dig that, man. I don't know. I really like Get Out and I love Us.
I love Get Out. I just don't care for Us. It's okay.
It's okay, bro.
I really hope Nope is good though, man. they give him so much praise, man, and I just don't think he's earned it yet. That's all. That's really all. He gets so much praise, and I don't understand why. Get Out was incredible. I just but yeah, Candyman was shot beautifully, and that's because of Nia DaCosta. I don't care. Get Out was shot really well though. Get Out was shot magnificently. But yeah, I don't know, man. I really do hope Nope is awesome. It's not like I'm hating on the guy. I thought he's a hilarious comedic guy. I loved Key and Peele. I just, and I like to see when guys that love horror get to do stuff. And I just feel like he leans too much into the social commentary, and I just don't need it for every single movie. I just don't need it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too much. Like, I could get it if it was one movie, but sometimes I just feel like that's what the plot is. Whatever plot he has, there has to be that social commentary, and then they just have to keep.
George Romero did that, bruh. George Romero did that. Okay, that's all. I mean, social commentary in horror is
I know, but his
kind
is
of the norm, bruh.
His is the same social commentary every movie.
No, it's not. Us is a completely different commentary than fucking Get Out. You're out of your fucking mind, bruh. Maybe. I'm sorry, man. Like, Us is a completely different message thematically than Get Out.
Maybe Get Out and Candyman have the same social commentary. Maybe not Us.
I mean, if you think every kind of examination on race relations in American culture is the same thing, then maybe, but like that, no, not at all.
No,
and Us is deeper than that. Like, I don't want to have this discussion right now.
maybe Us is, I don't know. One day you'll have to break Us down for me, and maybe make me like it a tiny bit more.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I should do a video. But Us is about the fucking man, bro. Anyway, what's up? I agree with Perry. Exorcist 3 is better than Candyman in all of Candyman's form.
Definitely. He says he gets a ton of praise because he already had a big following.
That's another big thing. Like, he was already known as a comedian, and then
yeah.
I really think he's made 2 really good movies, and like, I'm just saying, I'm a big fan. That's all I'm saying. As of now, 2 movies
I like Get Out. I love Get Out, and I want Nope to be awesome. I'm just saying, man, they act like he is the best fucking filmmaker since fucking. I don't even know, man. I just don't see it. But yeah, I don't think the comedic people like follow him to the horror side. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think the appeal is that why you're saying they're giving him so much credit is because his background is from comedy, and he's able to put together a very confident horror social satire film almost. So I think that impresses a lot of people.
And the other thing is, there's not a lot of iconic black horror directors.
It's true.
So I understand, like, when we get somebody like Jordan Peele, who's like doing thoughtful, elevated horror movies. I hate that term, man. But you get that's why there's a little bit of hype on him. I think he can rise above it because he's not someone he's I don't know, man. He doesn't even like talk about his work that much. Do you get what I'm saying? It seems like he's a very thoughtful, like, stoic, introspective kind of guy. And I'm excited for Nope. It looks like it's about aliens, so I'm really pumped.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I Nope is the one I'm most intrigued for out of any of the movies that he's done, straight up. So, I love movies like that. I really that's the thing. Like, I want him to rise. Maybe I put too much pressure on him, but I just didn't care for Us like that. I thought for how good Get Out was, I just didn't think Us was as good or better. To me, I thought maybe I know they're totally different movies, but I thought Us should have been better, and I just didn't care for it. But Get Out was phenomenal, no doubt. But yeah, I wish that Twilight Zone show would have been better because he wasn't terrible as like the intro guy.
Bruh, that was just a paycheck, man.
Oh,
be honest. That was just a paycheck.
I get it, but that's the thing, man. That sucks, bro. Because it's like, if you're gonna just like, that's the Twilight Zone, man. It's not fucking, you know, like just some random show. Like you got that's why I was disappointed. That pissed me off.
Yeah, they've
Take
never shit
a
on the
paycheck.
Twilight Zone.
Hmm?
They've never shit on the Twilight Zone and done a bad revamp of it.
What are you talking about? The movie? Or another show? The movie, right?
Didn't they do that second show of the Twilight Zone that sucked?
I don't know. The Jordan Peele one sucked. That was the second show, I thought. Or are you talking about Night Gallery? I don't know. I just know about.
I thought there was a Twilight Zone series from like the fucking 90s or something. Or am I thinking of Outer Limits?
Outer Limits, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Outer Limits.
No, there's
The
a
Outer
second
Limits
series
show.
from the 80s, 85 to 89. Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen
I'm
it.
telling y'all. Yeah.
Anyway. See, man, I adore the original Twilight Zone and Night Gallery so much, man. So when they come out with something like that, it really pisses me off. No, I never knew that there was one in the 90s. I thought you were talking about the movie. Did you like the movie that those guys did?
Yeah, I love that movie, man. John Lithgow, come on. Joe Dante, John Landis, come on, man. George Miller, come on, man.
Man, that one must be out of nowhere because I just see 1959 to 64 and 2019, 2020.
Is that the one with the old people at the apartment complex turn into like young kids for a night? Am I thinking of something else? Or maybe they're like an old folk home and they like.
What was it? You're making me think of a Goosebumps episode where they're young kids and they turn to old ass adults.
No, they were like old people and they got to like be kids.
That sounds like an old school episode almost.
Huh.
But yeah, no, there's a 1985 fucking Twilight Zone series, Dylan. I promise you.
85?
Yeah.
Twilight, I would figure said it was from the 90s or whatever. It was shit or miss. Yeah. Yeah, I never saw it. That's wild. In the 90s, I was watching Tales from the Crypt, though, so.
Now, in the 90s, there was that Outer Limits remake, too. I think.
There was a remake to Outer Limits? Because I think I've seen, like, the original Outer Limits, unless that's what you're talking about. I don't know if there was a remake or just one Outer Limits.
See, you care so much about the legacy of Twilight Zone, but you didn't even know about the 80s show.
Yeah, I didn't know. Maybe that's how terrible. That must be how terrible it was.
No, I remember parts of it I liked. I was just doing a bit, but anyway, yeah, there was that second one. I remember liking it when I was a kid, but it's the old school stuff that's the best.
Yeah,
that episode that Steph mentioned though, that sounds like it's an OG one too, but I don't know. Like they remade some of those things. So
yeah. It could be because I used to watch it. Like this was like not back in the day, but I was like 11 or 12. And they play like old episodes of Twilight Zone late at night, so that's what I do watch.
Dude,
and Night Gallery, I love Night Gallery, man. That one's
Kino did a Blu-ray for season 1, and it's remastered.
For what? Night Gallery or Twilight Zone?
No, Night Gallery.
No, I didn't. I didn't see it. Dude, I used to watch it recently. I watched it like a couple years ago. It was on Me TV or something late at night, and I would just watch it.
Really
loved it.
That's how because Hulu has all of Twilight Zone, and I was just watching that over and over. I fucking love Twilight Zone, and Night Gallery. I really want to get that Kino Lorber Blu-ray because if they did season 1, they're definitely gonna do season 2 and 3. I wish though somebody like Kino would do a Twilight Zone set like that too and remaster the episodes, even though they look really good already.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, Twilight Zone is just so incredible. Outer Limits is another one I want to pick up. I think Kino did Blu-rays for Outer Limits too. I gotta ask Scarpet because I know he picked those up.
2002. They're talking about Outer Limits 2002 or Twilight Zone?
I don't know.
There is the 2002 Forrest Whitaker one.
That Twilight Zone?
Hold on. Yes, it's the third series. That's the UPN one. It was hosted by Forrest Whitaker. Yes.
Oh, it was hosted by him?
Yes, that one too, man.
Good call there.
Wow.
There you go. So much for the legacy of Twilight Zone, Dylan.
I don't look at nothing but the OG one.
Fucking
OG's all that counts.
UPN, brother. UPN, okay?
Like,
They
even
played
the
Buffy
movie-
for a while. I remember when
movie-
Buffy went from WB to UPN, I was like,
UPN, yep.
we didn't have Buffy here for like 2 years because of it. So like season 4 and most of 5, I had to watch re-aired on Fox at like 4 a.m. And I
Wow.
would set my VHS to record it. So I had all the Buffys. But anyway, we're off topic again.
The only ones I like the original show, Night Gallery, which is always kind of, it's not really, but it's like the sequel to the Twilight Zone.
What do you know about Lost Classics, bro?
I don't.
Well, I'm seeing it right here. 1994, Rod Serling's Lost Classics.
Oh, I never heard of that.
In the early 1990s, Richard Matheson, father of Chris Matheson, co-creator of Station, and Carol Serling produced an outline for a 2-hour made-for-TV movie, which would feature Matheson adaptations of 3 yet unfilmed Rod Serling short stories, and apparently that eventually became like a mini-series or something.
Oh, the Final Tales from the Master Storyteller. I thought those are like on the Blu-ray when you buy like there's like a big a really big, like those big plastic shell cases that I have one. Like if you buy Tales from the Dark Side, the whole series, they come in those big hard shell clamp cases or whatever. If you get the Twilight Zone, I thought it comes with that. I could be wrong though. I still want to get that. I haven't bought the big Blu-ray set because they're all on Hulu, and I've been holding out hope that maybe like Scream Factory or Kino would do like a box set. Because if they did the Night Gallery, and when there is a regular like clamshell Night Gallery set, maybe somebody will do the Twilight Zone one day. Amazing Stories is another good one. I know I got season 1 of that on DVD. They've never done a Blu-ray though for Amazing Stories. I gotta get season 2. Season 1 is the best though.
Some really good directors and Amazing Stories, man.
Hell yeah. They redid that too, like last year, and that was terrible. Me and Scarpa were trying to get into it, and it was just so bad. But yeah, I think that was all the news I really had. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about, Robbie, for news?
Nah, man, not for news.
What do we got for show and tell tonight, my guys? You got anything for me, Steph?
Found this guy recently. You guys remember these?
X-Files was really good too.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think I had that exact one.
I think I sent one of those to
Mohawk off.
I think I sent one of those to Manny.
No way.
I think so, yeah. Not that one, but another one of them.
But I think
what were they called?
Oh,
The Guardians of the Troll Stones or some shit like that? Like
that sounds about
Stone Protectors, right. Something like that. I don't remember.
But
they're like Ninja Turtle trolls, basically.
Yeah. He's got the mohawk.
I remember I had that exact one stuff.
And I'm trying to find some of my older toys. I had like an Onslaught toy, and this Juggernaut came with it. You could put him in like a little gem using. I think it was I can't pronounce it. The Crateract Couture gem, and so yeah, I found this little.
Oh, that's cool.
And like I wish I could find the Onslaught figure because he had like this on his back, like he had this little like clear thing. You could like see like Xavier screaming in it, like a little Xavier.
So dope. And you could change him from the first form to the second form.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Super cool, man.
But yeah, that's all I got. More next week. I can't do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I looked down for a second.
Hey, that's a nice spawn behind you, bro. I just noticed that. Station.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I've been drawing a lot more lately, so
I like it.
I'm working on that. I'm thinking about starting on that Tapeworm Boy strip finally.
I saw you were doing a little Tapeworm Boy drawings.
Yeah.
That the Spandex Man.
Spandex King.
King. Yeah, I like
it. Yeah.
Get that going.
Some new comics I picked up this week. First of all, Vampirus Carmilla, the 2023 annual. So I guess I'm in the fucking future. But I really like these magazines. They got some really freaking cool artwork. Like some really good pen work there, man. Like really solid on the artistic front for me. All kinds of different styles. So I have a lot of fun with these. Great covers. So there's that. Some really good horror in comics. First of all, King Jira, Hungry Like a Monster. Really gnarly book. If you like kaiju stuff, if you like great art and indie comics, check that one out. Radio Spaceman, new one from Mike Mignola.
Oh, dope.
Oh, sweet. That's his new character, isn't it?
Yeah, very cool book.
Yeah, he looks cool.
Nice House on the Lake returns.
Nice.
What issue was that?
7.
7? Oh, okay, you said returns.
The final issue of Arkham City, The Order of the World. A perfect book for March Madness. Seriously, pick them up, read them. That is a Vertigo 90s era psychological horror take on D-list Batman villains.
Really?
Yes. Dynamite Never Dies, the third part of their big zombie thing, but I got
the Mummy homage.
The Mummy homage by Tony Fleece.
Oh,
so there
wow,
you go.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Had to get that. I got this from Two Gun Pedro. It's Doom Patrol.
I think Two Gun sent me that too. Yeah,
issue number 7. That's the first appearance of Codpiece.
Man,
everybody.
Man, how many copies of that you got, Two Gun? He got Codpiece.
He bought them all
around.
Bro. I got a personal grail in this week. It's a 5th printing, but I don't care. It's 8 Ball number 1, signed by Daniel Clowes.
Wow.
So really happy just to I have a new goal to collect all 23 issues of 8 Ball. So I'm going to do that. Got some new horror Blu-rays.
Oh, sweet.
First up, we were talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And I realized I have some holes in my collection, so I did pick up Leatherface TCM 3.
It's a good Blu-ray too. That's a good Blu-ray.
Nice. I was very stoked for this, bro, because I got it. It came back in stock. It was at a good price, and I got it with the slip.
Nice. Yeah, I got that with the slip too a while back.
Matinee, baby.
I love that movie, dude. I love Matinee.
Yeah. And my newest pickup, just picked this up today, but I got my NECA Frankenstein.
Oh,
this is the colorized version. I didn't want to double dip, so I didn't get the black and white one, but
the black and white has a different box art too, doesn't it?
It does. It's really nice.
Is it as nice? I don't know if it's as cool though.
It's all like black art. And you've got a few highlights, but I like that original poster art too.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
This is a beautiful figure. So I'm really, really excited when I eventually open this up. And last week I showed off the American Werewolf in London. I did open it up, and it is freaking huge.
Oh my god!
Look at that. This is my head.
That's fire,
that's crazy. Here's a Blu-ray.
I saw that you had a picture of somebody riding on top of him.
Yeah, that was Jay Strix because he bought it, and he put the Jason on it from New Blood, and it would looks like it would fit with He-Man on Battle Cat or Panther and Skeletor. It's badass. But the American Werewolf in London is currently ruling Grayskull right now. So
hell yeah, that's
what I got.
Hell yeah, dude! I gotta get that American Werewolf. I've been slacking on the NECAs, man. Let's see. I don't have that. I wish I had some new Blu-rays. I was trying to think if I did get one in, but I don't think I did. Yeah, no. So when I went to the movies, I got this little cool Batman cup.
Nice. Is that engraved?
Yeah, it's like it's like embossed in, like that's supposed to be kind of like, I guess it's supposed to kind of look like his bat cave.
Right, yeah. That's fire. I really did want one of those fucking popcorn helmet mugs, mask mugs, but
mask. What do you mean, like that they put the popcorn in?
Yeah. It's like a looks like
Batman's cowl. Don't even say that, bro.
Yeah.
I never buy this shit, but I had to for this because it was just so cool, bro. Yeah. And I was like, fuck it, like if I'm gonna have one popcorn mug for like movie nights and shit with me and my girl, I was like, this is cool to have.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah,
dude, it
that's
was
nice.
cheap though, bro. Like, cause you're paying so much for like popcorn as is. It was probably like $3 extra.
Look, it says one batarang.
Yeah, and I got it. Yeah, bro, I love that. And then also I got the shirt.
Yes, sir.
You
Love
went
it.
all fucking in for someone who had a bad experience.
Dude, I was like, I looked at the security guard. I'm like, bro, am so ready for this. Like, I got the shirt. Like, I was wearing my Batman socks and shit. I'm like, he's like, I know, man. Like, you're all Batmaned up. I'm like, yeah. And you guys just fucked me. Like, no lube or nothing. Like, fuck you.
Right in.
I also picked up this Mandalorian shirt.
Nice.
Well, because I got the Batman shirt from Walmart, and I saw this, and I was like,
that looks...
my new job, I can really wear whatever I want. So I wanted to get a couple of cool shirts, and these are so cheap. So I was like, it's cool. It looks like a cool little comic book cover too. So at first I was like, oh, because Grogu's like the main thing on it. I didn't care. I would have liked Mando to be more upfront, but it's a cool. I love like the comic book cover look to it.
Yeah, that's still a fire shirt.
So yeah, I got that and this Batman shirt from there. And I also saw this, and it was the last one in my size, so I had to freaking grab it because I don't even have a freaking shirt. I don't have any Scream shirt at all, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Yo, it would have been so dope if that said like Ghostface Killer.
And that would, like, right on the bottom.
Yeah, yes.
That would fill it out too. That would have been perfect. I didn't even think of that. So yeah, it's weird though that the Ghostface is actually, that's like a hot pink.
Is it?
Yeah.
The letter? Oh wow.
I didn't even notice that till just now.
I'm actually a big fan of
it's like Ghostface, the icon of Halloween. Ghostface is a registered trademark of Fun World Division. So I wonder if the company that like owns the mask or whatever put this shirt out. That's weird. Because it's not a Scream product. It just says it's like a Ghostface product.
Right.
That's weird. Yeah. But yeah, I don't own any freaking Scream shirts, so I was like, I had to grab it, and it was the last one in my size. So I was like, that would be cool just to have for. I'm trying to get more, the Fright. I want some Fright Rag shirts so bad, but I'm waiting for a sale to come, man. So they just cost so freaking much. But yeah, that's what I got.
Nice, brother.
Very nice.
Fire, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I can't wait to rock that on one of the shows. At first I was like, man, this Batman shirt is like kind of plain, but I really just love like how it's like on the chest. I'm feeling like Batman, bro. Like I just popped it, bro. Let me pull my batarang off.
Something in the way.
It did have a very grungy feel, to even Pattinson's look was very grungy.
But yeah, dude, this thing was cool, bro. Like, nice steel too, or what? Tin?
Is that red on the inside too? Like, that's dope. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. The cup was kind of like, I kind of probably didn't need the cup because I don't know what I'm gonna really use it for. It comes with a nice like plastic straw I can reuse though.
Oh yeah.
And it's got red logo on top. But yeah, it's like engraved and it kind of has like a rock look, The cup probably, I didn't really need. The cup was cheap though.
No, yeah, that's I would have grabbed it.
But honestly, I never get like when the Infinity War came or Endgame came out, like I got me and my mom, we got like a cup. We got the cups for that. I don't think we didn't get like I don't know if we got like a tin or I don't know. We didn't get a popcorn bucket, but we got the cups. And sometimes that shit just kind of gets out of the way because those cups are huge too, and they have like little figures on top. Because I had to get the Captain America, but this one at least I could like reuse, and I just. It's more accessible to use, but it's just cool. Had something cool to have for the freaking Batman collection, And plus, it has horror vibes in it, so it could go into my horror collection.
Yeah,
it does have horror aspects to it. Just like Legend, Robbie. Just like it has horror aspects.
Sure, Dylan. Sure.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Next week on Dylan's Horror Show, Batman Forever.
No. Now that's a horror show, not a fucking or Batman and Robin's the horror show. But yeah. So what do we got going next week, brother? Or what Robbie's gonna what comes next on March Madness on Rockin' Robbie's channel?
Next on March Madness will be Monday night, PCP movie night, 8 p.m. Central Time. Join us for the Michael Mann classic, the very first movie featuring the character Hannibal Lecter, but more so than that, an early Michael Mann film, a great movie with an amazing soundtrack, Manhunter.
Yeah. I gotta try and fit that in so I can join you.
Well, we got a full show, to be honest with you, Dylan, so don't stress it too hard. Everybody, I was surprised. So. This was one of those movies everybody was like, I gotta be on Manhunter.
Oh, really?
Right now.
Is that why you asked me?
Me, Jelani, Brooks, Manny, Verno, and Joe Corallo.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, I will be in the chat, no doubt. And yeah,
well, you never know.
Thanks, Perry. Yeah, man. The new job's been wild, but I'm liking him way more than my last job. I was like dreading going to work every day. This job, man, I've been really tired a few days, man, with this new job, and I've been like, fuck it, bro. And I haven't really hated it at all, you know. Right. My last job, bro, I fucking hated it. But sometimes when you start a new job, it's like rare to really hate, you know, because I'm just kind of learning the ropes and everything's new and kind of fun. But yeah, it looks cool with the pink and black, no doubt. And it's really you're really thin. I don't mind pink at all. So
we got Manhunter on Monday night. What's coming up the following Saturday?
The following Saturday will be, why did I just forget it? I keep forgetting it.
D&B? D&B?
I have it on here.
Red and Buried?
Okay. I kept thinking because it got switched. I keep thinking Dolls. Because when you switched the one, I think you switched one of them, like, you know what I'm saying? You flipped the two, like one show. Dead and Buried from the creator of Alien, or the producers of Alien or whatever. I think they produced this or wrote it.
I've never seen this one.
O'Bannon. You've never seen it?
Never seen it.
I'm really excited to hear what you think. This is one.
I hope it's streaming somewhere.
I'm not sure. Let me see. Dude, I love this one though, man. The cinematography on it is fantastic.
It's on Tubi. It's on Amazon Prime.
Sweet.
And Vudu for free.
Sweet.
So there you go.
I wish, man, I had the freaking picture, but I don't know if I could even pull it up of the March Madness, like pull up the banner. You know what I mean? Like, how do you do, dude? Like, you know, when you'll show like a picture.
Yeah, I don't know if I think that's only on the pay plan.
Is it? But is it part like is it like, do you have to add it as a video clip or how do you do that?
Add it as an overlay.
Oh, it's as an overlay.
Yeah.
And it just takes over the whole picture.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So Monday, Robbie will be reviewing Manhunter. Next Saturday, I will be doing Dead and Buried. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Such a great lineup for March Madness this year, y'all.
It is, man. It is.
In fact, we're about to have back-to-back Stuart Gordon films. So it's going to be good times here in the...
Dude, I can't wait for Dolls, man. And then From Beyond, that's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to dust off my From Beyond Blu-ray.
Yeah, me too.
And my Dolls Blu-ray. I can't wait. I love those two movies so much. Steph, you got anything coming up this week you want to talk about? I know Fable's got his shows tomorrow.
Yes, Blame Fable tonight, leading to Rock and Robbie on Sunday. We are going over the John Woo classic, The Killer, with Chow Yun Fat. We're gonna have the other half of Geeks Unleashed on there, Jasmine. So that should be pretty dope. Me, our Fable Herm, and myself, and Jasmine, our guest of honor. Then later on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, me and Comics King Brandon will be sitting down with Terry Dotson and Matt Fraction.
Nice.
Should be pretty cool.
What?
Looking forward to that. Yeah. Matt Fraction is one of my favorite comic writers. So
Dude, that's it. You guys are talking about Hawkeye, I'm sure, right?
The Adventure Man, I believe.
Oh, the Adventure Man. Yeah. I know you'll end up asking a question about that Hawkeye run, though.
I got some
oh, that's gonna be cool, bro.
Yeah, I'm
Matt's
excited.
a cool dude, man. Matt's a cool dude. I met him in 2019 at Heroes Con, and he showed me like artwork from the first 3 issues of Jimmy Olsen, which weren't out yet. Had a whole long chat with me. Like, bro, it was wild.
Dude, that's cool.
Then I saw him at the bar that night too.
That's the recent Adventures of Jimmy Olsen or Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen that came out.
Yeah, it was like in 2019, 2020. Yeah, that was a really great book.
So dude.
You said Jasmine's there. You're doing the Replacement Killers.
The Killer.
Oh, the Killer. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I thought you said the Replacement Killers, and I was cracking out because Jasmine sent me some of her family's old VHS tapes, and the Replacement Killers was one of them.
No way.
Yeah. And I was like, I got it right over there on
might
VHS.
have to change the movie just because. But
yeah, speaking of VHSs, I got some cool VHSs to show off maybe next week.
Oh hell yeah!
Go ahead.
You guys have been wanting me to get my VHS game back up. Just starting with the Pizza Hut X-Men VHS.
Really?
I got the first one, but I haven't gotten the second one yet. But yeah,
you know what? I think I have the second one. Just not. I don't have the sleeve for it, but
with Magneto and Deadly Reunions.
Yeah.
That would be cool to have that whole collection. I always wanted those when I was a kid. Just have the whole VHS collection, bro.
I wish I had
the box art when they
PTR.
Did they connect like DBZ type style, man?
Yeah.
Really?
Bro.
I remember the He-Man. Well, I think it was DVD set. It wasn't VHS, but the He-Man set. When you put them all together, it looked like Castle Grayskull.
Ooh.
It was sick, dude. It was so sick. I was so bummed because my mom. I had them all too, and like my mom had we had so many movies at the time and had nowhere to put a lot of them, so she started getting these cases, and she would take the discs out and put them in like sleeves. And they were like these cases that had like could hold like 500, and I was like, cool, whatever. But certain ones, I was like, don't take them out of the case, and then like for that, like the cases probably got thrown away over the years by my dad or something, you know. Yeah. And some like certain ones I could understand, who cares, throw them in the sleeves, but certain ones I wish we would have kept in the cases. But at that time we just had so many movies, we just had nowhere to put them, you know, and that was the crappy thing about it. But I always wish, like, I think out of all the ones, I wish that was the one that I wish, because that's a hard set to get, I feel like, nowadays. I don't know if you can get that set anymore. Not brand new, at least. You probably have to find it used, and who knows how much. And it's DVD. I don't know if He-Man.
Now they got a DVD set you can get at Walmart for like $50, but
not like a beautiful set where it's individual.
I know the ones you're talking about because they even did the New Adventures of He-Man from the 90s. In the same kind of format. Yeah. Really great sets.
Yeah, because I had those too. I had them all, bro. I had them all. That was awesome. But hell yeah, man. So make sure you guys go check out Blame Fable show tomorrow. Make sure you
Station 2 gun, by the way.
Hell yeah, dude. And thanks, Albert, for joining us, man, and missing the UFC main event, bro. That is awesome, bro, that you stuck it out with us. I already watched most of the March Madness lineup. I'm ready. And my man, too, he was like, send me that list, bro. I'm trying to get ready for this. So he's been pumped for March Madness. That's so awesome. I can't wait to hear what he thinks of the next few movies. Albert, wise choice. It was a wise choice. I love it, man. You guys are the best. Seriously. Thanks for joining us tonight. Like, seriously. March Madness is going to be so much fun. Definitely go check Blame Fable's show on Instagram tomorrow. Make sure you're there after to check out Robbie's live stream. Then the next night, Monday night, check out Manhunter live on Pop Culture Philosophers. And then make sure you're there next Saturday night to review Dead and Buried right here on Dylan's Horror Show. Like Robbie said, Dead and Buried, it's on Amazon Prime. And it's on Tubi. If you don't have Amazon Prime, Tubi is free. So definitely make sure you check it out. Do your homework, y'all. And Thank you all for rocking with us. You guys are the best. Love you all. Thank Two Gun for this awesome recommendation and this awesome review we were able to talk about tonight. It was so much fun. I'm so glad he sent me this and introduced me to another freaking cult classic favorite of mine. Love y'all, man. Check y'all later. Have a great night. Peace out.